Oh yeah, Black Sun in the hizzle, all for shizzle dizzle. We got an excellent show here today. So yeah, this Wrestling Wednesdays, man. So we're gonna give down. Oh, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time tonight on Wrestling Wednesdays. Y'all know how we do, man.
It's going down.
Oh yeah, Black Sun in the hizzle, all for shizzle dizzle. We got an excellent show here today. So yeah, this Wrestling Wednesdays, man. So we're gonna give down. Oh, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time tonight on Wrestling Wednesdays. Y'all know how we do, man.
It's going down.
Got my money up, turn that S to a dollar sign. Tricks and don't be a promoter like Bob.
Arena Uncensored.
So this past Monday night Raw was a special Raw, right? It was Raw 30. I didn't get to see the whole show, but what I did see was the trial? Was that it on the Raw?
Yeah, the trial of Sami Zayn.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm just gonna say it right now. I ain't no sugarcoat. This guy's awesome. Give him.
Okay, I thought you was gonna say something different.
No. Give him everything. Give him the money. Give him the belt. His demeanor, his look, his expressions. That is selling everything for me right now. And I don't want them to mess this up at all. I mean, I would hate, like he's so over right now the way he is. I would hate for him to, after all this time, to, oh yeah, I was swerving the bloodline. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see him hold serve and battle to that title, man. My God. But Sami Zayn, like, he's like, I mean, my favorite wrestlers today is like AJ Styles, Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar to a certain degree. Like, those are my favorite wrestlers, but of today. But Sami Zayn is like, I think he's trumping everybody right now. It's just crazy.
As I said, the Bloodline storyline is the best thing in wrestling, and
I would agree.
It's almost to a point now that I'm just hoping that they don't mess it up. And I agree, finally, because for months I've been saying, no. I wouldn't feel bad if Sammy was the one to take one of those belts off of Roman. I don't think it's going to happen. But if he was to be the one to take the belt off of Roman, I wouldn't object at all. It just sucks for Cody. It sucks for Cody Rhodes, because what's going to happen is in the Royal Rumble, you're going to have a Daniel Bryan 2015 moment where if Daniel Bryan isn't in the Rumble or he got eliminated, the crowd may hijack the show. And even though it's set up for Cody to be the triumphant hero, they may be calling for Sami Zayn. So they're kind of booking themselves into a position here. That's why I think at the Rumble they should beat Sami Zayn, or not even at the Rumble, at the Elimination Chamber, because it's going to be in Canada, that they need to beat Sami Zayn within an inch of his life in wrestling wise.
Right.
But just that whole segment, man, was because I watched it from the beginning, and the fact that Paul Heyman, that shyster, that con man,
rat bastard,
who was always saying, "Oh, I love Sammy," but the first opportunity he got,
right,
stabbed him in the back with all the footage, and I thought Sammy was just going to go on the crazy comedic thing, like, "Oh God, I didn't do this," but the fact that he just looked at them and said, "You know, you guys hurt my feelings the way after everything I've done for you, you know, this is how you're going to treat me. I have no defense." And then for Jey Uso, the guy that never believed in any of this shit, to be the one to save him. I mean, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. If the show would have ended like right there, best show of the year, last year included. I mean, it was brilliant.
Let's get funky like a monkey, baby.
Whether you like it or don't like it, sit down and look at it, because it's the best going today. What I'd like to have right now. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
It's showtime, folks.
It's just some man.
And what's it gonna do when Hulkamania and the largest arms in the world run wild on you?
Who's next?
Hey, how about that, ladies and gentlemen?
Cause that's the bottom line. The Stone Cold Simpson.
Rest in peace.
Tell me what time it is. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine like jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo! Always true. So this goes to all my freaks out there. Big Papa Pump is your hookup. Holler if you hear me. See, you don't know where my true man is coming from, but the cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah. Can you dig it, sucker?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Make yourself famous. I just had an out-of-body experience. What did we just see? What did we just see?
Yeah. It's Wednesday. And when it's Wednesday, it's Wrestling Wednesday. We got the heel minister, Trevor. We got the great MD20.
Peace.
All right. Well, right off the bat, I'm gonna let you guys know I'm kind of under the weather a little bit, but we'll truck on through. But we're here today to talk about the big epic Royal Rumble that we just had this past Saturday. We also have two spots really. We're going to debut the heel minister review. That's where Trevor will go over AEW or / Raw show that happened in the last week, and then also Trevor has I guess stuff he wants to get off his chest about something, so he'll be going up on that soapbox again. So I guess like right off the bat, what are our early thoughts? You know, just like quick thoughts about like Royal Rumble in general.
You guys can hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound clear.
Yeah,
clear.
sound good.
Let me address this real quick because I don't want to think about this later in the show.
Right.
Because it's crazy that with the popularity of wrestling, you still have trolls on the internet that would leave comments and call us like losers because we do a wrestling show. When if you look at the numbers across YouTube, wrestling gets like some of the biggest numbers on YouTube. We don't do this show for numbers, obviously, because all of us do stuff in our real lives. We just enjoy professional wrestling. But the fact that I was in someone's chat room yesterday and I saw a message pop up and said, like, what do you expect from them? They're grown men that talk about wrestling on Wednesdays. First of all, I say thank you for listening, because obviously you're listening because you know about the show. But secondly, I'd like to compare lives. I'm gonna be Blackson today. Let's compare lives. I'm not gonna pull credit cards out because I don't do that. But let's compare lives. If you guys really think that insulting us because we do a wrestling show is gonna do anything and it's gonna stop us, it's not. And today I'm going to be insufferable because the greatest thing that's happened in a long time in wrestling just happened this past weekend. And I'm going to gloat about it. And I'm going to give you the entire history of it. And you could call me a nerd. You could call me whatever you want. Just keep listening. And please be sure to hit the like button.
And let me back you up on that. So, you know, from my perspective, yeah, I'm a person that, you know, like other things caught up with me in life where I wasn't necessarily that in tune with it. But in terms of us as a people, like it's things that we grew up with that gave us solace in terms of the reality that we was in life, right? To my personal belief, I believe if a lot of us stayed in tune with the things that captivated us and made us dream as a child, we'll be a lot better off.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, but that's just my personal spiel. Like, bro, like at the end of the day, like folks is still out here like living. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
If you can't have some form of escapism, some form of imagination, that says more about you than to do me. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it is what it is. You know, you can't stress off like that.
This shit is like legit like an escape that I look forward to, you know, because growing up, me and Venkat, that's how me and him became close, was off of our love for wrestling. I went to their house because I was friends with his brother, and I saw this gigantic wall of wrestling videos, and I'm like, holy shit, I gotta be friends with this dude. And you know, and then that's how it happened. And I mean, that was, you know, 30 years ago. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? If guys could get together and talk about football and stuff like that, you know, I just think people need to find something better to do. And if I was you, Venkat, I would have had a picture of my, I would have had a picture of my new toy up. I would have been showing that thing off. I'm surprised you didn't do an unboxing video. I would have been showing that damn thing off. But yeah, I'm done. I'm not even dealing with them, man. That's because they have yet to still come on the panel and address me with their camera on. So it's all good.
Well, first and foremost, I don't negotiate with haters. So whatever a hater has to say really is irrelevant to me. Second of which, professional wrestling encapsulates multiple styles and types of entertainment and genres. So to look down on wrestling, that means you would have to not watch movies, not watch TV shows, not read books, not listen to music, not watch sports, because wrestling has all those wrapped into it and more. And people that do professional wrestling for a living, they have a job that is multifaceted. You can be an NFL player, an NBA player, be a young punk kid getting millions of dollars to sign on the dotted line after getting drafted, and they can't articulate themselves to sell themselves to make an audience come to see them. They're just going to make money on the fact that it's the NBA or it's the NFL, and that audience is already baked in because of the fan base. But a professional wrestler gets on TV and he has to put it all out there. And he has a crowd of people that are either going to thumbs down or thumbs up him. And you have got to persuade and will those people to watch you on the TV and to get in those seats to see you perform. It's a very tough, grueling business. They have the hardest schedule of any form of entertainment. It's harder than an actor, harder than a pro player. They're 300 days or more on the road every year. It's brutal. And you can look at the wrestlers today. Right now, Hulk Hogan is in the news that he's gonna not be able to walk. He has issues with his leg and all of the back surgeries that he's had. Now he's to the point where he may not walk again in his life. And it may be actually worse because there may be more to it than just walking. So and he is one of the softer in my eyes.
His work style is soft.
Right, a limited move set base, unlike like a Benoit or Eddie Guerrero or these guys that really get into the weeds of the wrestling. He had a lot of safe moves and he's all messed up. So this is not something for the weak at heart. When you go out there, you're pretty much hardcore all the way, and that's something an NFL player, when their off season is shorter than their season. The wrestlers are still out there bruising and destroying their bodies, not to mention the time away from their families. So it's a completely different thing, and you're in constant pain, and you're doing painkillers and all these things. So as an art form, I could look at it because I love multiple types of art. I love music. I love acting. I love movies. I love all these different forms of entertainment and media. So it was only natural that I gravitated to wrestling as it showcased all those points. So if you can't get it, that sucks for you, because while you're putting your nose up, I'm enjoying some of the greatest moments and matches that's ever been. And if you don't want that, it's fine, but don't tread on me because I like it. So I don't get affected by anybody trying to. I mean, that's such a 70s, 80s thing. Like this is 2023, so there's no way you're gonna. Oh man, I feel kind of bad. They're making fun of me in the chat. Like I don't think like that. That's little kid stuff. I'm a grown ass man, dog. So So and no more airtime for the haters. We're about to get into this wrestling now, and as far as haters go. We might as well get into the heel minister with his review.
You're killing me with these graphics, man. All right, so I don't have much in. Well, okay. So what I really want to review is the AEW show that I watched last week. And again, second week in a row, I found it very enjoyable. I don't this show that I saw wasn't as good as last week's show. So last week I gave it like a 7.5. So I give this week maybe like a 6. But this week the show felt more indie for me. And I think see, last week felt like more like okay, this is Smash Mouth. These guys lay it in. This show that I just saw, you had this skinny punk kid named Jungle Boy. Apparently he's Luke Perry's son. Is it Luke Perry? The guy from 90210 that died last year?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
I mean, this kid has got to be the scrawniest kid I ever seen in my life. And then his tag team partner was a dude named Hook. And I forget who they wrestled, but nevertheless, it just was so indie, man. I always think about it like Vince McMahon. He's always like the and I'm coming off this stance a little bit, but he has the airport test. So he'll see you and he's like, damn, do people turn around and look at you when you walk by? Those two dudes could walk by in the airport with 10 people and nobody would bat an eye at them. They are the most unassuming, just get off my TV type people. But then let's get to the great part about AEW. Bryan Danielson, again, top probably 4 wrestler in the world right now. He had another great match with Brian Cage, a guy that's like a big steroided freak, but Danielson, he works really good with those guys. And what I like is that it wasn't like a pin where it was this contrived pin. I forgot what the finishing move was. He may have hit him with the recycled knee, but it was just quick and out of nowhere. And he got his business done and he got out of there. So again, Bryan Danielson continues to be what I always knew he was. And now I'm glad that I am watching AEW because I get to see him, because for like a whole year I didn't watch his matches because I got my loyalty to WWE, but now I'm watching it. So now the Vancast favorite wrestler, Darby Allin. Darby. So Darby's match this last week was better than that. No really blown spots. He wrestled one of my personal favorites, Buddy Matthews, former, what was his name, Buddy Murphy at WWE. He was part of Seth Rollins' crew. And what I noticed here is that guy is awesome, man. That guy he's like a heavyweight and a cruiserweight body, but he could do every single move. If you haven't watched the match that he had on SmackDown with Roman Reigns, I thought that was going to put him on the map, but Vince McMahon thought different. The best thing I could say about that match though is that Darby didn't Darby it up. He didn't try to kill himself, and it was, it went off with a hitch. I think the match soul is just a jump off point for the bigger angle that they were filming. So Malachi Black, former Aleister Black, he came to the ring along with some other dude, and they attacked Sting, and then some other guy came out to even the odds. So I guess they're heading towards a 3-way match. I don't remember what the women's segment was this week, and I don't remember what the main event was. But again, it wasn't. This show felt really indie to me. It wasn't anything spectacular, but it wasn't anything bad either. So that's the AEW thing. So now to my gripe. So me and Venkat are texting back and forth throughout the Royal Rumble, and this is how you know. This is how you know the Royal Rumble was good because.
Hold on, Trevor. Hold on. So you're going on the soapbox?
Yeah. All right. So this soapbox is to rail against my long great friend Venkat, because we're watching the Royal Rumble, going back and forth, watching the tremendous effort by the Austrian Gunther. Started out number 1 and made it to the final 2. Venkat sends me a message that says, "Man, Gunther is a beast, but he has a terrible body." And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what? and I don't know why it bothered me as bad as it did, because I started sending him like pictures. I think I was tagging him in a picture or something like that, or something he did. But this dude used to be like he was a big guy, like big and out of shape and just soft. Like, he was a big, soft guy. You touch him and it looks like he's butter. But because he was coming to the main roster, he worked, like he lost, I want to say, they say he lost like 70 or 80 pounds, and he worked himself where he got muscular to where he started, his trunks even got smaller, and he was wearing, he was showing more because he was trying to please Vince McMahon. So the fact that of all the things, this man just went 70 plus minutes in the Royal Rumble, that's the message that I get. You, sir, you're gonna be the heel for this episode, because that's ridiculous. The fact that you would body shame this guy.
It wasn't a body shame. It was an observation.
You body shame this guy on the same show that a Baron Corbin is on, who doesn't have a muscle in sight. Like, but you body shame Gunther, but you tell me the AEW guys are okay. I mean, I don't get it with you. And then my last soapbox before we get into the Royal Rumble, because I almost forgot. Again, you post, and I think you do these type of things just because you know I'm going to see them and you know I'm going to comment on them. You post a post, and God forbid, just because Jake the Snake Roberts said it, then it's true. Where Jake the Snake says that, who was it? Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels were great wrestlers, but they aren't. They aren't as great as Kenny Omega,
right?
And to you, Jake the Snake Roberts, and anybody else who has that opinion, just go sit down somewhere in the corner, because that is ridiculous. that this video game character that just spams all his finishers, has no ring psychology, hadn't drawn a dime in the business. All he does is try to get Dave Meltzer's stupid 5-star rating matches. And he only gets them because he works in Japan and because he hasn't come to WWE. Wait until he comes to WWE. Dave isn't going to give him those 5 stars anymore. And y'all got the nerve to put him in the same breath as the great Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels. Come on, man. Like, for real. Like what are we doing here?
Well, I can't rebuttal because you're on the soapbox. So I got.
I'm done.
Oh, okay.
I'm done.
Well, first of all, I mean, are you trying to say that Kenny Omega is not a good wrestler? I mean, you won't recognize Kenny Omega's attributes and skills?
Kenny Omega might as well be named Paul Roma when you're putting him with Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels.
No, there's no way, man. That was pretty low. Oh, come on. Kenny Omega is not no Paul Roma type. He's pretty good in that ring. I'm just saying, it's Jake the Snake's observation. I was just putting it out there. I didn't agree or disagree. I'm just putting it out there.
That's what years of drug abuse will do to you.
But he actually hangs out with. He actually, he's been around all of the people that he's talking about. So I'm just saying, it's just an opinion. Hey, MD, what do you think about that? What do you think about Kenny Omega?
I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, for what it's worth, for what he does, he's pretty good. You know what I mean? The hype, I don't see it. I follow Jim Cornette on Twitter, and he called him Twinkle Toes. I think that's funny.
Jim Cornette is great.
But I mean, for what it is, for the perception of what we view wrestling today, I guess I could see the appeal. Just me personally, I wouldn't put him on a pedestal like that. I mean, I can't do it.
I mean, it's interesting that Jake the Snake would say this, though. I don't know. Obviously he sees something. I don't know, because I don't think Jake the Snake hates Ric Flair or Shawn Michaels. I don't think he has a beef with them. At least I don't think.
You know what it is? Jake the Snake sees that nobody even knows that he's still in the business, so he's trying to drum up some interest. We know that. Well, I know that he's an agent at AEW, but so what?
I mean, just think about it. Just think about what Kenny Omega was doing before, like Bullet Club, right? He was mainly doing like comedy matches and stuff like that.
Yeah, is that the guy that was wrestling blow up dolls and little girls?
Yeah, that was part of his shtick. But like I said, I don't see how. I mean, I guess from the work ethic alone, I can see where he got a spot that way. But from skill, no, I can't. I can't get jiggy with that. Not at all. Because you gotta think. We went if you following the Bullet Club, like the era, the timeline. We basically went from AJ, who basically put Bullet Club. He elevated Bullet Club to the mainstream entity that it is now. And Kenny Omega rode it. You know what I'm saying? He rode the lightning, so to speak. So a lot of that benefited off of that. A lot of those matches that me personally, from the limited stuff that I know, I would even say a lot of his success in Japan, is directly comes from his Bullet Club success. Other than that, I don't see Kenny Omega being placed, on that pedestal or placed in that main event card, especially not in New Japan, unless it was for that. But that's just me being opinionated. I ain't basing that off of nothing. I'm just saying.
So Dave Meltzer gave his match against Okada at Wrestle Kingdom a couple of years ago, and I know Bones want to try to get on today, depending on how his work schedule is, because he's a big New Japan. Because I'd like somebody to break down this Bullet Club to me, because I'm not 100% familiar with them. But Dave Meltzer gave his match with Okada like 6 stars, so I'm like, oh shit, this gotta be the greatest thing I ever watched. I went and watched it. And I honestly know that I think I dozed off about twice, because it was a 45-minute match. And then you may say, oh, you just didn't want to watch a long match. I mean, I watched all of Ric Flair's Broadway matches. I mean,
but that's a typical New Japan main event. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, they talk about people not selling stuff. I mean, I'm assuming, okay, Okada, and God, if they're saying Okada's the best wrestler in the world, boy, you talk about not having it. But so I guess his move is the Rainmaker, which is just a clothesline, and I think he must have hit Kenny Omega with it like 6 times, and he kept jumping. So that's what they're getting all crazy about, because he got out of 6 Rainmakers. Big deal. I mean, it don't look like the clothesline from hell,
right?
I sound like a hate. Listen, I'm opening my stance again. You know why? And it's like, when WWE is good, it makes me want to consume everything. And that's why I'm opening up my palette to all these other companies, because WWE is good and AEW is good at what they do, as long as they realize that they're just a little brother. And I'm open to watching wrestling, because I love wrestling, especially when we're going to talk about it, man. Saturday made me realize the look on my daughter's face when my daughter started crying at the end of that show. I just laughed and was like, yes, they got it. I'm like, they did it. I mean, I'm looking at grown men in the audience, just like, and then when they start, we're gonna get to it. I'm ready to get to it, man. I'm ready to get to
Just
it.
real quick to validate my point. Before AJ left, he was the hottest thing smoking in New Japan when it comes to a Western mindset, right?
Right.
When AJ left and went to WWE, what other Western star? Now we just talking about Bullet Club. What other Western star, single star, were they gonna substitute with AJ Styles?
Who was first, AJ or Balor? Like who was?
No. Finn Balor was first. Finn Balor created it.
So he's
but
the
AJ Styles made it popping.
Okay, so it wasn't popular with Balor.
I mean, yeah, it was. I'm not saying it wasn't popular, but we talking about like overseas popular. AJ Styles did that.
Right.
AJ Styles got Bullet Club stuff in the mall.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like that when it wasn't like that when Finn Balor created. Like it was just a faction. That's what New Japan is all about, factions, right?
Yep.
So Finn, yeah, he created it. But when AJ came in, when Finn left, AJ came in, AJ popularized Bullet Club. Remember, if you remember when AJ left, it was sudden. It wasn't him going to WWE wasn't something that was planned. Like it was very sudden. Matter of fact, he did I remember when it all happened, he did a house show. I forget what promotion it was. But at that time, he was not signed with WWE. And that was like a couple of weeks before the Royal Rumble. So it was sudden. So New Japan said, damn, we got to replace like Bullet Club is hot. We got to replace him. We can't replace him with just anybody. We got to replace him with another Western wrestler. We got to.
Right.
At the time, you tell me, name a single Western wrestler that was in Bullet Club at the time. It wasn't many.
I don't know anything.
You had the Bucks. You had Gallows and Anderson. But you had God. It was Mason. No, he wasn't there yet. He wasn't in Bullet Club yet. Not at that time. He didn't get in Bullet Club until Kenny Omega took over.
Okay.
So you had basically Bullet Club was all tag team. God, Gallows and Anderson, Young Buck. Who else was in there at that time?
Tama Tonga, like whoever that is.
Yeah, God. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you didn't have like an option, so you had to go with Kenny. Kenny rode the lightning.
Okay.
That's just from my perspective.
It's almost like Hulk Hogan in the NWO. Then he rode a hot because up until the last minute it was supposed to be Sting, and then Hogan pulled that card at the end and was like, yeah, I think I'll do it. Because Eric Bischoff has said a bunch of times that Sting was going to be but I don't think NWO would have been as big if it was Sting leading versus Hogan, because Hogan was that, like, Hogan just was it. Hogan, I almost want to say Hogan was better heel than he was a babyface, but that's debatable.
Everybody, all the other Western guys didn't come in until after AJ left. Like I said, again, when Kenny came in, that's when you brought in Adam Cole. That's when you brought in Hangman. That's when you brought in Marty Scurll and all them guys.
What do you think of Adam Cole, MD?
And you tell me, would you take him in that role over Omega?
I don't know. I don't know.
As a Triple H NXT guy, I love Black and Gold Adam Cole, man. Adam Cole.
Remember, they had the super kick party on Adam Cole when he left to go to NXT.
Oh, is that how that happened?
Yeah.
But Adam Cole is another one that, like, if I saw Adam Cole in the mall, I'd be like, hey, that guy looks like Shawn Michaels, but that's about it. Like, he's so little, man. Like, these guys are so little. And I think, I'm trying not to just base it solely on that, because here I am singing the praises of Danielson, but Danielson is a legit fighter, though. He wrestled a bear in order to train for his match with Brock Lesnar. That's like real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy's a real fighter. When I see these other guys, they just look like play fighters. Like Jim Cornette, he calls Kenny Omega Kenny Olivier too. because it's like they're like playing wrestling. They're not laying it in, man. So I just look at these guys and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, and to end the point before you go to the next segment, Van Cat. In New Japan almost played it kind of like WWE. They didn't want to change up. When Kenny Omega left, who did they make leader of the Bullet Club? Switchblade, Jay White. Now that's a guy that you really wouldn't look at as no main event, but yet he's like 2-3 time IWGP champion.
So people are just becoming champions because of the convenience of them being there.
The convenience of them riding the wave of Bullet Club, because Bullet Club is the moneymaker in New Japan.
All right,
and they're not going to pick a Japanese star to run Bullet Club.
That's what I was going to ask you. Why not Okada?
They're not. Bullet Club is a Western faction. If you know the history of New Japan don't run like that.
But what I'm saying is, wouldn't for storyline purposes that'd be like we're trying to take you over from inside? Again, it's the nobody thought Hulk Hogan was ever going to be a bad guy. That's what made the NWO so great.
Yeah, but like I said, you talking about being stuck in their way. That you mentioned NWO. Who did they make leader of NWO Japan?
Who was it? Not Kenzuki. I'm talking about Kenzuki.
Scott Norton.
Who was it? Oh yeah,
Scott
Norton. Yeah, because he was
Norton.
So wait a minute, hold on. Damn, I didn't even think I was going to get into Japan wrestling, but because I always hear about New Japan and
Scott Norton was the IWGP champion over there at that time too.
Yeah, but that's a big ass kicking dude though. He's legit. But what I'm saying, I always hear about in the IWGP and New Japan. I never watched any of that stuff, but based on listening to you talk, it's like, what's really good over there? What is it, because they punch each other in the face for real? Is that why everybody loves it so much?
Well, yeah, it's the strong style is appealing to people. It was appealing to me. That's why I started watching it back in the day.
Right.
Like the format it ain't changed. It's still strong style. It's still hour matches. That's what get over.
It's different audience, different way of doing things. I mean, you got to break down YouTube videos to 5-minute increments. You can't put an hour out. And the attention span is so damn weak.
I don't want to deviate. That's why I'm interested to see what Sasha Banks is going to do over there, because them stardom girls don't play. They don't play no game.
Well, she already sold out. She already sold out the event that's in America that they're going to have.
Yeah,
but I mean, and that's not to say Sasha Banks is not a good wrestler, because she is. But we saw what type of strikes she was doing in WWE. They weren't that good.
Sasha Banks hasn't had a good match since Bayley in Brooklyn. Bianca Belair, but before that, Bayley in Brooklyn.
She got a lot of attention on her right now.
Because had Sasha Banks come from TNA, you wouldn't have heard shit. It's because of the way she left WWE. That's all it is.
She was a star before she left, though.
She was a star, but had she been a TNA wrestler and did the exact same thing in TNA that she did in WWE and was going to Japan, nobody would bat an eye.
That's not a fair statement. You know why that's not a fair statement?
Why?
Because I was watching the Royal Rumble that AJ debuted in, and everybody was popping for AJ. He is Mr. TNA, right? Yeah, he came from New Japan, but America doesn't care about New Japan. AJ Styles. Yes.
AJ Styles, Sasha Banks. Don't get it twisted. Sasha Banks is, man, I don't want to be coming off like this, but Sasha Banks appeals to the horny wrestling fans.
No,
Sasha Banks is not a great wrestler. Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair.
I want to say that. I'm just talking about.
Come on, Trevor.
Bianca Belair is a million times better than her. And
I think you're kind of biased, man.
Biased for what?
Well, first of all, Bianca Belair is your daughter's favorite wrestler. So you're watching a lot of her matches.
I remember I'm an NXT person. I'm a Triple H. There was times I watched NXT over the main roster. I watched the Horsemen grow up. I know how they were. She never was appealing to me. She's terrible at promos. And like I said, She had that one match in Brooklyn with Bailey where I was like, boy, this was good. But to her and on the main roster that I watched all the time, it was just I'm telling you what the appeal with her is.
You saw her in Wrestle Kingdom. She botched the new move that she has.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, it was a big thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Venkat, they call her Botcha Banks. They call her Botcha Banks. I mean, it ain't. I'm not making it up.
Those girls in Stardom, they're not going for it.
Kyrie
they gonna spinning back fist the hell out of her. Like and it's gonna connect.
Kyrie Sane might beat the shit out of her, and she bleeds every time you touch her mouth. She's always bleeding.
And Kyrie Sane is smaller than Sasha Banks.
Yeah,
so that's
Kyrie Sane is legit. That's who I wish they wouldn't have let leave was Kyrie Sane. Give me Kyrie over Sasha any day.
But clearly Sasha Banks has some level of appeal here.
She has a look. I mean, I ain't diminishing that she has a look. But as far as wrestling, she was the fourth horsewoman. Charlotte was better than all of them. You got Becky, you got Bailey, then you had Sasha. I mean,
Bailey's not bad. Bailey's not bad at all.
Bailey is awesome.
No, she's not. And one last thing before we go. Again, in Japan, like they looking at these Stardom girls come from the dojo. They worked hard to get in the position that they in. Sasha Banks just come right along. and this is a new dynamic. This is a new dynamic for like women's wrestling, is what I'm saying. The last time we saw a Western girl come in and get a major contract like that was China. And that was for one match. And in the documentary they said them girls was pissed over that happened. So what do you think these Stardom girls are gonna do to Sasha Banks? First of all, they're gonna make her work. You know what I mean? They're not gonna go for the bullshit, and she gonna get the hell beat out of her. That's just what it is. And I want to see how that's gonna work. Yeah, you know she was legit with that match with Chono.
Yeah, China.
After I saw that, I said, yeah, she for real.
Yeah, she ain't no Sasha Banks. Come on, man. Sasha Banks is 100 pounds, man. Them girls over there eat her alive.
But what I'm saying is the girls that were wrestling over there in All Japan at the time were mad because she was just coming in via contract.
Yeah.
And not through the dojo.
Oh.
Sasha better be lucky Bull Nakano not around. Bull, come on, man. Bull Nakano would murder somebody like that.
Oh, man.
All right, we can move on.
Yeah, I can't believe we spent all this time on Japan wrestling. It was interesting.
All right, hey, it's a good conversation to have, man. I mean, all right, so we're going to go ahead and go into our recap of the Royal Rumble.
It is now time for the Royal Rumble. This is what we've all been waiting for.
The American Nightmare is here. The American Nightmare staring at the WrestleMania sign.
All right, so Royal Rumble was this past Saturday, and overall the event it actually set a record for WWE's live gates. It was 50% higher than the previous record, which was in 2017.
Live gates for Royal Rumble.
For Royal Rumble, right? For Royal Rumble. I mean, it's not going to beat the WrestleMania, but for Royal Rumble, so I mean that's a huge increase. 50% more than the previous record holder, which was 2017, and it was successful all around. As far as the viewership and everything, it just exceeded expectations. Now we had 5 matches on the night. We had 2 Rumbles in 3 matches. In my personal opinion, I think that both Rumbles were great. The final main event was great. You had 2 matches, one not the greatest, but not so bad, and another one that was just meh. Overall, for me, that means that the event is really good. I would give it like maybe 8 stars, 9 stars, maybe, just because of the ending and what it
Out
meant.
of 10?
Yeah, 8
Wow,
or 9.
for you?
Yeah, for me, because I don't.
Wow.
I mean, I don't judge like on a curve like some people. I first of all, the best matches were the matches that needed to be the best. The main event and the event that the event is named after, the Royal Rumble. Both were successful, and the main event was good. So the 2 matches that faltered a little were the 2 matches that should falter. If you wanted something to fail, it would be that. Also, I want to mention that WWE was disappointed in one thing about the event, and that was the country singer.
Oh,
They
God. Oh, jeez.
they were upset about that. I was reading about that,
I docked them 4 stars just for that.
and see, but again, me, I'm just gonna ignore that, and I'm not gonna. I don't take away for that. So that's why I'll go as high as 8 or 9. So I guess I'm an 8.5
I can
out of 10.
I cannot. Is this the highest you ever rated a WWE event?
No, I don't think it's the greatest. I mean, I would say like the better WWE events are going to be like WrestleMania 20, WrestleMania 18,
19.
19 is really good too. Yeah, they had a streak right there where they were just doing some good stuff. I think WrestleMania, 22 or 23, that was really nice too. There's like the SummerSlam with Brock Lesnar and The Rock, 2002.
Awesome.
It's not like there, but it's up there with that stuff.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I'm almost
It's a really good event.
All right.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, go ahead, MD, because
because I know you're gonna talk a lot. So
well, no. So like Venkat just gave his overall. I'm gonna give my overall, and then we'll break it down.
okay, I gotta agree with Venkat, man. I'm gonna give it 8, and that's mainly basing it off the ending. The matches, the Rumble matches themselves. I mean, they were good, not great. The ending to both Rumbles though were very good. Like the ending with Cody and Gunther, that was great because they gave time for it.
Mm-hmm.
They cut down on the nostalgia, which was good. We didn't need the nostalgia entrances. We didn't need that.
Mm-hmm.
Negative. They for whatever reason, and this happened in both matches. For whatever reason, they were doing storyline entrances back to back, which was stupid.
Yeah,
right.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
But like I said, both matches overall they were good, not great, but good. But the endings of both matches were very good. They could have kept the pitch black. I didn't need to see that. It didn't do anything for me, nor did it do anything for the storyline. It did nothing for Bray Wyatt except for advertise a drink. The Raw Women's title match, the Raw Women's title match again was bad. It did nothing for. I mean, I guess you could say it progressed storyline somewhat, but why do that at a pay-per-view? You know what I mean?
Right.
With no payoff.
Especially when the match previous with Uncle Howdy and Bray Wyatt and stuff. Now you're gonna have her have a connection to the same element that was bad in the previous match. It was weird to do that. As soon as they saw how bad the Bray Wyatt match went, they should have just canceled everything they were going to do at the end of the women's match because it was horrible. Yeah.
So I mean, overall, like I said, despite those couple of bad matches, the overall event was good. And I'm only giving the points because of the ending. The end, like for the first time in a very long time, my kids are excited for Friday to see what's gonna happen on SmackDown.
Right. See,
I was like, damn. So
Yeah.
it did the job.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a tale of two shows. And I'm gonna say it's the Royal Rumble and then it's the end. For the Royal Rumble itself, I gave it like a 7 out of 10. I loved both Royal Rumble matches. To me, the men's Royal Rumble match was the better of the two because it flowed more. The ending of the women's match was perfect, but they almost messed up big time because had Rhea Ripley not been able to hold on, boy, they would have had some explaining to do.
No, they should just roll with it.
No,
all right.
Boy,
they should just roll with it.
Man, I'm Liv Morgan and a WrestleMania man. No, sir. I'm tired of her.
Yeah.
To be honest, they almost had me. I thought she was going, when she hit that code breaker, I was like, oh
man.
Yeah, that would be a bad thing.
Pissed. I would have been pissed. The men's, I echo what MD said, man. That the ending of the men's match was tremendous. What was it, like a 7 to 10 minute wrestling match that they had at the end?
It was something like that. And
that reminded me, I forget what year it was, but it was Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. They literally were the last two, and they had a WrestleMania. They had a 10-minute wrestling match ahead of their WrestleMania 25 main event. The Gunther's performance was tremendous. It's just is a testament to him, and I thought that Vince McMahon was going to ruin him, and I'm so glad that he didn't get a chance to, because he'd probably be playing like Vladimir Kozlov if Vince was still in charge of creating. And it got to a point. It got to a point in that men's Rumble match. At the end, I was like, you know what? I think I want to see Gunther win this. I went in like, man, Cody. But the way they built Gunther in that match, I'm like, boy, you know what? I wouldn't mind seeing Gunther against Roman. And Gunther, I love the fact that the storytelling. That's why I always say in these matches, for me, it's about the story over the moves. Cody Rhodes came from a devastating pec injury. So what does Gunther do? He chops the shit out of his pec for 10 minutes. I mean, just the brilliance of the storytelling to where you're looking at it like, man, are they really going to swerve us? It was tremendous. The pitch black match, kiss my ass with it, because Bray Wyatt will recover, because we just love Bray Wyatt. I don't know why, of all the wrestlers in the world, we give that guy more chances than he deserves. I'm going to give him another chance because I love Bray Wyatt. I love the Uncle Howdy gimmick. But the fact that we need to call WWE out on that bullshit elbow drop that missed by 10 feet, and then you could clearly see that he landed on a crash pad with the stupid explosions, and then when they replayed it, they shot it from an angle where LA Knight jumped up, so you could clearly see it was a crash pad there. If I'm going to call AEW out on their bullshit explosion, then I'm going to call WWE out on you. Can't be the biggest company in the world doing stupid shit like that. That's what took it down to a 7 for me. The Bianca Belair and I almost say AJ Styles and Alexa Bliss, whatever. Hopefully I never see Alexa Bliss with Bianca in the same ring ever again. Let her go be crazy Alexa. Let her go play around with Uncle Howdy in the haunted house and do whatever she wants. Bianca Belair is the best women's wrestler in the world, but I am afraid what's happening is she needs an opponent to beat the shit out of her and make me care about her again. Because to me, all Bianca does now, she's become just a smiling, dancing babyface. Because I've never seen her in peril. She's bigger than everybody she wrestles, so she's more dominating. The fact that she had to sell to a woman that's 4 feet tall is just ridiculous. Just get the hell off my screen. This past Monday, they were supposed to do a segment. Hold
on, real quick. So was Alexa Bliss during her goddess reign? Was she not over?
You want me to say why I think she was over?
Go ahead.
Because of her looks. She was
oh
over,
my God!
She was over
every time. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. When Ravishing Rick Rude gets in that ring and he shows what I like to have right now is for all you fat, out of shape idiots to shut up and let me show you women what a real man looks like. When he does that crap, now you don't never hear anybody say, "Well, Rick Rude, you know, the moves that he's executing is really not the reason why he's over. He's over because he has those abs."
I
got to get pushback on that. I got to get pushback on that, Trevor.
I mean, it's always, with the women, it's always their looks. Like it's
no, that means you didn't listen to nothing I said. Then.
Oh,
so, but I'm saying though, Trevor, check it out. In the midst of the women's revolution, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you had all these great women's wrestlers coming out of NXT, it was Alexa Bliss that stood tall. Yeah, one of the reasons.
She was booked the best. She was booked the best.
Yeah, she was booked the best, correct, and she looked good. You know, if that's your thing, that's what you like. But could nobody talk like Alexa Bliss? That's one of the main reasons.
But MD, again, we're talking about her character. She has great character work. You know what I love that she does is when you pop her arm out of socket and she makes it look like it's broken, then she gets babyface sympathy for that. And then when she pops it back and shows you that she was a heel, then you hate her for that. Great character work. But I'm gonna ask you a question. Tell me one good Alexa Bliss match you ever saw.
Oh boy,
I'll wait.
I can't. I'm not going to answer that. I'm just going off of if she was over or not.
I mean, with Kenny Omega is over too. The Young Bucks are over. I mean, who knows? We can't. What people being over is based on personal thing. Why y'all beating up my synopsis anyway?
My bad. Continue. Continue.
But the men's Royal Rumble was great, and the women's, like I say, I love that finish, and I love the fact that Killer Clown Asuka is back, and I think what they're gonna do now is make her like the mob boss that she was in NXT when she was like champ for 500 days, and so now the main event. I think the Kevin Owens Roman Reigns match was a really good match. I think Kevin Owens needs to stop taking that damn chair slam on his head. I mean, the stair slam on his head. I mean, I don't. Crazy. That shit is crazy, man. For him to do that twice, and he didn't get his hands up the first time. But I mean, what we're all here to talk. The main event angle was tremendous, and I can't think of an angle that had me the way that I was on Saturday. I didn't go to bed till like 1:00 because I wanted to just read every Twitter feed and see what the overall temperature was. So I'm done with my assessment of the Rumble because I don't see how Venkat wants to do this next part. But I'm pretty sure we'll get into this main event angle.
No. We're in it. This is what we're doing. We're dissecting the event itself, the matches, the Rumble, the main event, the events of what happened at the end. I mean, I think we should really start there. That's the meat of everything.
Oh, what I will say about the women's Rumble though, the way they trolled the fans bringing back Nia Jax. I was like, oh God. Of all the people in the world, I thought Naomi probably was going to come out. But the fact that Nia Jax would come back, I'm like, oh, God. And then she played the role. And all I'm thinking, man, like, please don't make her win. Please don't make her win. Because I could see them making her be the one that goes after Bianca. Because she would be the first opponent that Bianca isn't bigger than. But shouts out to Rhea Ripley, man. I love Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is
they resigned Nia, right?
See, I was hearing that it may be like a deal where it's not a full-time deal. It's like, you know, a couple one-offs, and they'll let her plug her merchandise type stuff.
Yeah, I heard something about they resigned. I don't know to what extent.
Now you're talking about somebody being unsafe.
Yeah.
Well, if it wasn't for her being unsafe, Becky Lynch wouldn't be the star that she is. So I guess Becky thanks her for that. But yeah, so who want to go with the main event, man? Because I got so much to say about this.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
MD.
Go ahead, MD.
No, I'll go real quick because again, like I said, I know Trevor will break it down like way more than I will. So I'm looking at it from the aspect of they were able to culminate like this moment to the point where people are coming up with theories. I've been seeing people that have been like correlating this with during the COVID era when, Roman was doing all this stuff to Jay, and how, that affected him somehow here. And that's one of the reasons why he left. Nobody knows what's going on. And that's what makes it so great. The fact that, we're bringing it from a storyline that is really personal when it comes to Kevin and Sammy. Like, man, I haven't seen nothing like this in WWE in a while. It's been a minute. And yeah, man, I honestly, I don't know where it will go from here, because I wasn't expecting the whole Jay situation. And that's what made it for me. What role is he gonna play? You know what I mean? How is it gonna work out with the payoff come WrestleMania? That threw a wrench in the game all the way. Because you remember last week, we were coming up with different scenarios. Now, hell, I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. Like I said, I got to see what's gonna happen Friday. I ain't never. It's been, like I said, it's been a while since I've been like, okay, I got to watch SmackDown Friday. I have to. I ain't got no choice.
Yep.
So, like, man, man, you can't beat it, man. But go ahead, Trevor. I know you got it.
What you got, Van Cat?
No. Go, you gotta go. You gotta go.
All right. So I watched this thing from the beginning. I don't know when y'all started watching this, but the beginning of this happened 3 years ago. When Roman Reigns with the whole COVID thing, and Roman, basically backed out of WrestleMania because of COVID. And he started to develop this character to where he would show up late to matches and things like that. And then I remember that one episode of SmackDown, Adam Pearce brought him the contract, because it was Bray, Braun, and Roman was supposed to be the third man. And they brought him the contract, and Roman had the contract in his hand, and he handed it off to somebody. And the camera slowly panned over, and you see Paul Heyman sitting there. And I'm like, holy shit, are they finally going to do what we've been begging for them to do for the longest? And that's turn Roman heel. So then insert Jey Uso. The whole story was there was a battle royal or whatever for who was going to be Roman's next opponent. And Roman wanted it set up so Jey would win, so Jey would just lay down for him. They ended up having a competitive match, and it started to build sympathy for Jey Uso. Like, man, this is main event Jey Uso. They had a couple of matches. They had the Hell in a Cell match, which has some fantastic storytelling, because that's the one where Jimmy came back and Roman was choking Jimmy out to make Jey quit. And then at the end of the match, Alpha and Sika came out and put the lei around Roman Reigns' neck, anointing him the head of the table. So now we get to the one-off. That was never supposed to happen. It was supposed to be a quick smash with Sami Zayn. But everybody started talking about the on-screen chemistry that they would have in those backstage segments, where Sami would come in and Roman would be sitting on his chair, and then Roman would be dismissive to him and things like that. And it just became to where Sami started to stick, and then the fans started getting into it and blah, blah, blah. So now we know the whole bloodline angle, the honorary Uso. So get to the end. Sami Zayn deserves a fucking Oscar for this one. The only thing I wish would have happened, and I'm not for this, but if ever there was a time, this deserved the unprotected chair shot, or at least a hands up chair shot and some blood. That would have just set it off so much better. But the way that crowd erupted, because you got to remember, during the match when Roman told Sami to go get the chair, Sami was like, you told me don't do anything. And throughout the whole match, you watch it, because I watched it twice again already. You're watching, you're looking at Sami, even when Roman barricaded, hit Kevin through the barricade, Roman was like, sit down, stay down. No, this was before the barricade. He was like, stay down, stay down, stay down. Like, why is he showing sympathy for KO? Of all the shit KO's done to him, they were showing the deeper story of friendship, like that undying friendship type shit, man. And And then the big culmination, like we all standing there, they're beating down KO. They got the handcuffs on him. And we like, man, come on, man. Somebody got to stop this. Somebody going to save him. And then Roman's going to use a chair. And then Sammy finally says, that's it. It's too much. You already beat him down. But Sammy's still playing him. He's like, man, it's too much. You beat him down. You don't need nothing else to prove. So what does the great evil heel does? You kill your best friend. He handed the gun to Sammy and said, you do it. And Sammy's just conflicted because two trains of thought here. I'm the informant that they put in to go undercover. And if I don't do it, it's going to blow my cover and they're going to kill me. Or it's going to, the gig is up. And then his conscience gets the better of him. And he hits Roman with a chair. And they lay down the beat down that I've been hoping was going to happen soon. And the lasting scene of seeing Sammy laying there, KO just a helpless heap. Oh, what I do love though, when who was it, Roman? He grabbed no, that was in the trial thing where he told Solo to hit him with the spike. But it's like Solo's just the hitman, and the unexpected twist that nobody saw coming. They called back to 3 years ago where Jey Uso was like, you know what? Fuck this. You treated me like shit 3 years ago, and now you do this. I don't want any part of this. And he walks out on them. So now,
man, did you hit a gasp when he went out the ring, bro?
Man,
I ain't never heard nothing like that in the WWE crowd.
I'm gonna tell you, there's a handful of times. Like, I still think this may be borderline on it, though. I still think the greatest storyline in WWF history is the Mega Powers. But the only other time I felt this much emotion, for a wrestling storyline in WWE was the Kofi Kingston run, just because of all the racial undertones in it. This had me, when the crowd started saying F you Roman, like loud. If you've been following, when was the only other time they did that? When he beat Undertaker at WrestleMania. And on that Monday Night Raw, they said it for 10 minutes straight. This man evokes so much emotion out of people. So people can say whatever they want. Oh, I had somebody tell me, Roman only has like 5 moves. If you've seen one Roman Reigns match, you've seen them all. You know what? So what? You tell me who's on earth wrestling right now that can get the type of reaction that this man gets, the utter hatred. Cody Rhodes said his name on Monday Night Raw, and the crowd just went to booing. All he did was say his name. Imagine if he would have came out there, and the finishing touches on it that made it so great. And I'm going to land my plane right here is when Roman, one by one, dropped the damn rose petals on Sami Zayn. That's mob hit type shit. It was brilliant. I mean, my daughter was just bawling, like, why would you do this? How could, because she's 7, she doesn't know. She's like, why would they do that to him? Is he hurting? I hate you. Like, and I'm like, just laughing. My wife's like, oh God, I can't believe this. She doesn't watch it really. She'll watch every now and then the big stuff, but she's just sitting there looking at this thing like, wow, they got.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think they dropped the ball with not at least having? Now, I'm not saying have everybody there on Raw. Like, for obvious reasons, you wouldn't have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn there for obvious reasons, right? You probably wouldn't even have like the bloodline in totality there. Do you think they dropped the ball with at least not having Roman there to get that Raw after WrestleMania type show? You know what I mean? Like that crowd.
Yes, especially with that crowd. Monday night's crowd was hot. Monday night's crowd was hot, and they wanted to cheer and boo for everything. Like, that was a good crowd. If Roman would have came out of there, they would have booed him. That's what you would have called being booed out of the building. With his smug, arrogant, when he would have been like Kentucky or wherever the hell they were, acknowledge me, and then they'd have just booed the shit out of him. I get why they did it, because
he could have just said that and left.
Yeah, Well, remember with the Undertaker thing, 10 minutes they're booing him, and all he said was, "It's my yard now." Dropped the mic and left. And the crowd just went batshit crazy. Like, that's what I'm saying, man. I don't understand how people don't like Roman Reigns. It's not always about moveset. Like, so what? You could, oh God, I can't believe none of us brought this up in the Royal Rumble match, the Logan Paul and Ricochet spot.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
I was waiting to talk about that, but go ahead.
Okay. I thought we just forgot about it. But man, like Roman Reigns is on another level right now. Like, I can't, when you have grown men in the audience and it's legit, it's not them trying to get on the camera. You got grown men in the audience like welling up, and they're like, man, like they want to fight this guy. That you can't buy that type of heat, man. I'd rather be, if I was ever a wrestler, I would always want to be the heel, hence the name, the heel minister, because it's an art to being a bad guy. Like, it's an art. Anybody could get cheered. It's an art to being the bad guy, but every bad guy has to have a perfect baby face. And Sami Zayn, from the way it's looking, it was really odd that the Elimination Chamber match is going to be for the U.S. title. So that means that they may be saving the main event spot for Sami Zayn against Roman Reigns. And I don't think Sami should beat him because it's still Cody's spot. But I think Sami should come damn close to beating him, because he'll be in the hometown, and then that's when Sami and KO get back together to go for the Usos. But I don't know what's the Jay storyline. Like, they threw a monkey wrench in it with Jay. Like, what do y'all think gonna happen with Jay?
I think Sami Zayn and Jay might be like a tag team or something.
I heard that being thrown around, and maybe Solo would just fill right in for Jay's spot, huh?
Yeah.
I heard that.
And then also remember, and this is the reason why I was texting you Kevin Owens. I felt like Kevin Owens would win because Roman Reigns got 2 belts, and Triple H made the announcement that when you beat either Roman Reigns or the Usos, because they both got 2 belts, they only have 1 title on the line at a time.
Wait,
you're not going to beat them. Huh?
When did he make that announcement?
I read it online. They already announced that it's going to be 1 at a time. You can't beat them and get all the belts. It's only 1 title.
No,
only
but remember
1 title.
the belt. No, the belt is called the WWE. It's called the WWE Universal title. It's 1 belt.
It's
the undisputed WWE Universal title.
Yeah.
But that's
it's the same with the tag team title.
No, but the tag titles, they're making them defend them separately.
No, but they were saying that Triple H, first of all, to do this Roman thing, putting both belts on him, it takes away the star from another guy on another show.
Yeah, that was
so. This is why they got to take a belt away from him so that they could be multiple champions again, and you could have guys have because somebody. During this whole Roman Reigns time, somebody missed out on their run just to be able to give him all that support to be what he is. But, usually it's the 2 champions.
They're going to split him after Mania. Either way, they're going to split him. I already know that.
Big deal.
That's what I'm saying. So if he loses, it's going to be like for one of those belts probably. They got to split it up somewhere, and that's the way to do it.
If Cody is on Raw, if he wins at WrestleMania, Cody is going to be the WWE champion, and then they're gonna have the Universal title on SmackDown.
You have
or they could swap them.
They
could swap them again and make the red belt again. Who knows?
You have to have 2 champions. I'm okay with that, but to say that Roman, so this is why you can't do that, because let's just say KO would have won. KO is a SmackDown talent, correct? Yeah, SmackDown talent. So he would have won.
He would have been the Universal champion.
He would have been the Universal champion. That cheapens Cody beating Roman at WrestleMania, because Roman would have already lost one of his belts. You don't do that. You let his ass lose both of those belts, and then you split them after Mania.
Yeah.
Because remember, Cody has said from the beginning, I want the belt that my dad never had, and that's the WWE title. He don't give a fuck about this Universal title shit. I don't know why they even made it up. They should have brought the world title back. That's what they should have brought back.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Let's play fantasy booker real quick. So if it were me, this is what I would do. As far as like the tag team title, I still don't believe you can realistically put Sammy and Roman in the same ring. I just don't. It's not realistic to me. At the Elimination Chamber, I would do Sammy versus Jimmy, because Jimmy is the one that's bare bones, straight bloodline. You saw no hesitation with him. Immediate super kick. You'll do Sammy versus Jay. It'll just be a grudge match. It won't be for anything. So you could put Sammy over in that match, but you could see a situation where, whatever happens in between, then Kevin can get back good with Sammy, and then Kevin comes out, helps Sammy, and you could see them doing the exact same thing, beating the shit out of Jimmy. That will put Jay in a situation. Damn, I gotta go out here and help my brother, because you got to have them in they're a tag team. They're the champions. You got to have a match with them at some point. So what'll be the reason behind him going back to defend the titles? You handcuff Jimmy, do whatever you need to do, beat the shit out of him, force Jay to make a decision. Jay say, look, this is my brother. I got to do what I got to do. It is what it is. He may be conflicted about it, but eventually you have to help Jimmy. At that point, it ain't about Roman. It's about his brother. You know what I mean? And then, WrestleMania, Kevin Owens and Sammy versus the Usos to take the title.
Did you see what Jay put on Twitter? Yeah, I don't know if you follow him.
No, I didn't.
He said bloodline over. Like, that was just his tweet. Like, Jay was just like bloodline over.
Yep.
So I'm thinking they might. I mean, because I think Sammy against Jimmy, it brings Sammy down. Like, Jimmy is an ancillary part in all of this. Like, Jimmy has to wrestle Roman. I mean, Sammy has to wrestle Roman. And I'm not saying he should beat Roman. He shouldn't beat Roman. Roman shouldn't lose that belt until WrestleMania. But it's WWE booking where they book themselves into a corner. You put both titles on one guy. Why did Brock Lesnar have to beat Big E in that elimination chamber or whatever that was? Like, why did Brock Lesnar have to win that belt? He could have just been wrestling Roman for one belt. Roman, the 800 days is tied to the Universal title. Remember, he's had the Universal title for 3 years. He got the WWE title last year. So his lineage is tied to the blue belt. So why the hell did they have to take the belt off of Raw? It's them booking themselves into a corner. I don't think it should be two sets of anything. You should have one champion that goes from show to show, or don't split the roster. Figure it out.
But okay, well, this whole stupidity happened when WCW went out, and then they had to figure out a way to try to make a competition in their mind. So that's why shows became leagues, which I'm totally against. It's a freaking show. It's not a freaking organization or a league. So the problem is that the roster that you have and the amount of shows you have, you can't just have this one guy being the champion. The league is bigger than that. But, everything is all screwed up because of what happened with the WCW thing and them bringing in the world heavyweight title and using that and blah, blah, blah. But what I'm about to say, as far as where we at with WWE, as far as like the championship picture, I'll go back to Royal Rumble. I feel like Gunther should have won the damn Royal Rumble. It was very obvious he should have won that Royal Rumble. And he should have won it specifically for a number of reasons. But Cody Rhodes just came back from an injury. Cody Rhodes came in at number 30, which helps Cody Rhodes and it helps the believability, because I would have hated for Cody Rhodes to pick like number 4 and went all the way to the end. That would have been horrible.
I thought it should have been 15.
Well, why 15?
I'm just a good middle number. I didn't like the fact that he came in 30. I would have said 20 or something like that. But
yeah, and everybody is already, it's a foregone conclusion that Cody Rhodes is going to be in WrestleMania and is going to fight Roman Reigns. And like all these things are already. That bothers the hell out of me, because
predictability is good sometimes. It doesn't matter.
No, it's not, because Gunther worked his ass off. Going back to the Castle event, he worked his ass off, and he's been going through the trenches when Cody Rhodes wasn't there, and Roman Reigns is a part-time champion. So now we're giving all this glory to these guys. Meanwhile, Gunther is busting up his bad-looking body, and he should really have been rewarded for what he did. And
you talk about these guys like he's a part-time wrestler. He got hurt.
Who?
Cody Rhodes. He's not a part-time wrestler. You're talking about.
I understand that exactly. He got hurt, and he was not in the picture. It doesn't matter if you stayed home because you want to eat ice cream, or you stayed home because you got hurt. You stayed home. That's what I'm saying. He's not on the scene, but Gunther was taking those bullets. No, you're saying stupid, but I'm saying
no. I didn't say you were stupid. I said this guy, like you.
No. Hear me out, because it feels like a super rush to get to certain matches when we had endured Randy Orton versus Cena. Like, they must have wrestled 15 different pay-per-view main events.
We keep seeing.
I understand that, but we keep seeing those same matches over and over and over. And here we have a moment where things are really good story-wise, and there's all these eyeballs on it. And like we're rushing. We're rushing from January to April. We already got like 2-3 sets of matches that has the title changing once or twice already. Before anything even happens. I'm just saying. I'm
saying though. Have you seen the WrestleMania poster?
I have. I understand.
Take Cody off of that and put Gunther on that. Doesn't have the same appeal. And Cody needs Cody needs an opponent for when he wins the belt. So there you go with Gunther.
No, okay. It's ironic to me that the guy that these bastards at WWE said they didn't see any potential in, all of a sudden he's an appealing. That was not Vince. That was that New Age Outlaw nigga. That was him. Well, maybe it started with Vince, but he's the one that verbalized it. And I'm sure there were others that felt the same way. What I'm saying is, this is why they never invest in the guys that are coming up. Like Bill Goldberg was like a nobody, and they just rode that, and they made the decisions in real time. Gunther should have been the focus. You have 50% increase in your viewership, the highest all time at a Royal Rumble. So people seen, known, and understand. And just like MD said, he's looking to the next show to see what's going to happen next, right? So you got all these eyeballs. Why are we doing stale booking, traditional stale booking in wrestling? Cody Rhodes is coming back from an injury, and all of a sudden he's what's that?
You're the only person. You're the only person in the world to say this. This is
exactly. I would be, because.
But how would you play out Gunther with him being Intercontinental? Intercontinental's been the main belt on SmackDown for a while.
Exactly, and he's a heel, a foreign heel on top of that.
What does that mean?
I'm saying you can't put a foreign heel.
You're involved in 3 titles at that point.
Yeah, man, come on, you talk about fantasy booking. Come on, man.
First of all, a guy being a heel, then being a international heel or whatever the freak. What the hell does that mean?
I'm saying he's a foreign heel. I'm not saying it to disparage him. You got a heel champion, so you're gonna put a foreign heel against him. There will be
Who says Roman Reigns would be champion by WrestleMania?
That's the other thing I don't like. That's a good point. Like I said. We don't know what's going to happen between now and WrestleMania. We don't know. The titles could be split before then. I'm not saying
you got Elimination Chamber in 2 weeks, and then there's WrestleMania. That's it.
That's what I'm saying. No, not only that, but you also have Raws, you have SmackDowns. There's all sorts of match situations that could happen.
So did they get rid of Fastlane?
Yeah, no, they don't do that anymore.
That's a trash ass title and a stupid event. I don't even know why. But still,
though, you got, so they're not gonna have no pay-per-view in March.
Nope, you got Elimination Chamber then WrestleMania.
Oh, right. Wow.
So you're not gonna take the belt from Roman on a SmackDown or a Raw. Act like you know the company now. Come on, man.
Oh, please. That's the reason why you
know the company. Like that's
why you should do stuff like that. Gunther should have won the Royal Rumble. Cody Rhodes should be made to wait down the road, and down the road could either be 5 months from now or a year WrestleMania from now, because he needs to build himself back up. He had been out of who in the NBA and the NFL, when you're like out with an injury, you got to work yourself back up. You don't continue where you are at. And then like,
come on, man. Like,
for me personally, I want to see Gunther and Sheamus again.
Exactly.
I probably want to see Sheamus win it, and that'll be him. You know, going over the horizon of the sundown, whatever.
Exactly. Gunther Sheamus
That's
is what
I
everybody wants to see. I don't know what the hell Venkat done concocted in his mind.
I'm saying I'm not like you guys, man. I'm more realistic with the thing. I just don't see an injured guy coming in. First of all, that make the roster look weak. He came in at 30, so he gets a little bit of a bye there, but there's no way in hell a weak guy coming off an injury should be winning the Royal Rumble.
So when Triple H did it in 2018,
Undertaker size. He's not
even when Triple H did it in 2018, the exact same thing. What was the problem then?
It was a problem for me then too, because it's bullcrap. First of all, you can't be doing things like that when you're married to the boss's daughter. That just screams propaganda. I'm just saying that you got to be mindful of what you're doing with these things.
Yeah, to people. The people
also,
like
you're getting a title. You're getting a title shot from winning a battle royal. And battle royals, historically, before WWF decided to do Royal Rumbles with the title shot, battle wars has historically been big guys dominate battle wars for obvious reasons. So now you have all these little ass guys winning Royal Rumbles, which is kind of disingenuous. So let Gunther get that, let him have his moment, and then let whatever will happen with Roman Reigns, because obviously he has to worry about Sammy, he has to worry about Cody, he has to worry about it's a
terrible take. Hey, is that Lex Vortex I see on the screen?
What do you mean?
I see like Lex Vortex on the I don't know. Wait, Venkat fell off. Come on, MD, you gotta talk some sense to this man, for real.
No. I'm just saying I understand what he's trying to get at, but it ain't going. Like I said again, just the fact that you involved in 3 titles at that point is not a good look.
If you had to had to traditionally pay for WrestleMania, when it used to be like $70, and you got a chance, you're gonna buy it, but you're buying it solely off the main event. You're gonna buy it based on the return story of Cody Rhodes versus Roman, or Gunther and Roman. And let me know, and I'm not shortchanging Gunther, because if you go look down my whole Twitter timeline, I've been singing this man's praises ever since he came into NXT UK. So I don't want nobody to say I'm not a Gunther fan. But at some point, it's okay to stick to the script. You don't have to deviate all the time to swerve the internet fans. Come on, man. The story is Cody came back for one reason. Cody is still seen as the AEW guy. He came back for one reason, to win the belt that his dad never won. What's so hard about that? I don't even honestly. I saw the leaked photo that Cody is planning on bringing back the Winged Eagle title, and just for that, I hope he beat the shit out of Roman. Just so we can get
that's the problem, though. See, so we're already pre-estimating match situations. We're pre-estimating the title itself. We're pre-estimating who's going to be in what slot and this slot. It's like there is the element of unpredictability that we should have. You should have that.
Hold up.
Hey, yo, real quick, Hill Minister, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, Vortex?
What's up, man? Where's Yanga and Black Sun at? They here?
Okay, I don't know where they are, but I was about to say, I know you're on the wrong stream, because I know you came over here to beef with them.
Nah, I didn't come to beef with them. But they ain't here. Okay.
Yeah. Yanga don't really pull up for this one, and Black Sun probably still at work.
Oh, okay. It's all good. All right, peace to y'all, man. Peace.
All right. Yeah, I was about to say what I'm like. Damn, Vortex is on this. What's going on? I'm like, damn.
He's sliding on the streets, man, and
Yeah, I'm like,
looking
man,
for a hit, bro.
I'm like, the
Like,
arena
no,
really
we
gets
just
big.
innocent bystanders, man. We ain't.
I said, Venkat don't know about this side. I'm like, damn, boy, the arena really getting big. You got Vortex pulling up on the wrestling show because they was going at it on Blues panel earlier.
That reminded me of Minister Society when one old girl, cousin came up. Hey, which ones of y'all came?
Oh yeah. I saw Vortex in the back. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Hey, I might end up making the show after this, man. And you know, I know what's up. I know what's up.
Okay, because I know they was going at it. I've been so far behind on shows because like the arena been going live seemingly like every damn minute. So I saw your stream. I finally finished that today. I'm in the middle of the one with Gynocracy where her and Vortex was going at it. The one with Yanga and Vortex was going at it. The one where Vortex and Snupnup was going at it. I'm like, God damn. Then I see Blue went live. He arguing with Yanga and Blackson. I'm like, damn, man.
For the sake of continuity, man, we ain't even gonna talk about it.
All right, yeah, I'll have to catch it later, man.
We ain't even gonna talk about it.
But Venkat, like, because and this is where I would agree with that. If maybe, and this is the downside of WWE that they should take from AEW. Well, I don't know if AEW has a top 10 list versus do they just give wrestlers rankings, but WWE should, and I heard Triple H wanted to do this years ago, but Vince balked at it, should do a top 10 list where the champion is obligated to wrestle that top 10 list. But of all the guys in the Royal Rumble, it was laid out. I mean, sometimes predictability is good. You want to go against the grain just for going against the grain's sake, and I think that's what you're doing here.
No, I want to see.
Okay, let me give you one more example. Because and this is how I'm gonna tell how genuine you are. Because I believe you're being disingenuous again.
Of course.
1990, Sting was supposed to wrestle Ric Flair. Sting got hurt. Ric Flair was supposed to lose the belt to Lex Luger. Lex Luger said, Flair said, I'm not losing the belt to Luger because I promised it to Sting. Sting comes back and beats him at the Great American Bash. Why didn't you feel bad for Lex Luger?
Why would I feel bad for Lex Luger when he had lost like at least 2 to 3 matches before that?
Whatever.
He lost. Okay.
To Vankat's argument, it was supposed to be a payoff, and it wasn't based off an injury. I think with Cody, it's a different situation because it was never a payoff. He had just got there. You know what I mean? So I can see the argument.
He wrestled one match, and he was hurt, and then he comes back and miraculously won a type of match that, historically speaking, outside of WWE, it should be a bigger guy than him winning that match.
Yeah, because it says the body shaming guy.
Body shaming.
Did you call Nia Jax fat too when she came in there?
No. I'm just saying there was noticeable weird looking legs in that Royal Rumble throughout. There was, Booker T looked great, but when you looked at his legs, it was it was kind of weird.
Booker T needs to wear,
there was some leg days that were missed and missed royally. I'm just saying, man. I don't think there's nothing wrong in Cody Rhodes working and working his way up to it. I don't think you just go out and then, I show up for this one match and boom. I think that there's enough things going on outside of Cody Rhodes, who's a person that came from the opposition, AEW. We don't need to rush him into this WrestleMania. They're ready to. They weren't ready to rush Sting. Sting should have been right there with that Undertaker at a WrestleMania, and they played around with that. Like there was a major rush. Oh boy, here we go.
Play personal booker for a second. How would you book Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania? How would you book it?
This one, I would have had him. I would have had him.
You gonna go back to Seth Rollins?
I would have had him go back to have a rematch with Seth Rollins.
Oh hell no! For the fourth time with no belt involved? Hell no!
I would have had him at the rematch. And I think the WWE should have a top 10 because WCW used to have it. Every week there was a top 10 list. And depending on what title you have, you were automatically in a certain slot. I think the TV champion was automatically number 5, and the US champion was automatically number 2 or 1.
So if you're going with Seth Rollins, then that means Seth Rollins is going over because Cody beat him 3 straight times?
3 times.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many times he beat him. They should just have the match. So sometimes they keep talking about these WrestleMania moments, and they're putting together things because there's some silly story, and sometimes that goes off the rails. What's my best situation to have a successful, entertaining matchup? And then everything else should fall in place. These stories that we keep saying, you've been working stories, and we've had a long period of mediocrity because these bad so-called stories. I'm just saying, put the best scenario forward. What would have been a nice jump forward for WWE's perspective is recognizing a guy like Gunther, rewarding a guy like Gunther. Because if you be honest, the MVP of the night was Gunther. It wasn't Sammy. It wasn't Roman Reigns. He was the MVP of that night. And that lady, Ripley, she's not far behind either. And I'm just saying they need to give. If that's the other thing too I want to say. If she would have fell accidentally, then go with it. Frig it. Go with it. You can make that up at the back end at a later time. But when it looks bad when you try to do a screw job, fix it at the end type situation, just go with whatever in the moment is. It won't hurt. And it was good. I mean, that slip and that grab of the rope, that's what make it so good. The mist in the eye, the stumble, and then the slip, that was perfect.
So does Gunther beat Roman Reigns?
I mean, I would do it. Hell yeah, I would do it. Because I need Roman to lose one of those titles. So why not have
He is gonna lose it. That's the thing. You're just mad that the guy you want to do it isn't gonna be there.
Well, first of all, you act like I'm a Gunther fan. I'm just saying.
I mean,
it would be good to have that.
How long did it take you to think about this? For real.
I've been thinking about it since that night of the Royal Rumble. I'm like, oh my God, they should have went with this guy because you're building his star up right now. Roman Reigns is already over. Cody Rhodes is already over. What are we doing? We're just swapping. That's why there's like 17.
So Gunther's not over? Gunther's not over?
Come on now.
Gunther's not over?
Oh my God. Nobody knows who Gunther is on a larger scale. People are more inclined to know who Cody Rhodes, who Roman Reigns is.
They're bigger, obviously. They're bigger name.
They're bigger because they had those spotlights.
What you're doing, your Gunther's on TV every single week. What you're doing is you're making, like, what they call them, straw man arguments. All you're doing is you just rotating wrestlers. Oh, I don't think this guy gets enough spotlight, even though he's on TV every single week, even though he's on every single person's top 10 list of wrestlers. He's big time over internationally. Oh, but I wanted him just because he had a great showing in the Royal Rumble. He should be the one that beats Royal Rumble. I mean, Roman Reigns, even though the story doesn't say that.
But you just said the reason why he should.
But here's the reality.
I'm sorry, MD, go ahead.
No, real quick. Here's the reality. At some point in time, these belts are going to split. Now, the area of discussion should that be before or after WrestleMania?
Right.
You know what I mean? As of right now, there is called the undisputed WWE Universal title.
Right.
How are they going to push it storyline wise to break up those titles? Me personally, I do believe it should be before WrestleMania. Hell, put Roman Reigns in 2 matches at WrestleMania if you want.
That's what the rumor is, that he's going to defend one night and one the other.
But they're gonna have to explain it from a storyline standpoint. They're gonna have to, because now it's the undisputed WWE Universal title.
Right.
They should have stripped him. They should have just stripped him because
they should not strip him. You don't need to. Why would you waste it?
You have the 30-day rule. They got to explain it some type of way.
They don't need to strip him. They just need to just get the goddamn belt off him. And who better than a guy coming up with legitimacy than Gunther? And then the other thing, too, is Hulk Hogan and Bill Goldberg. That was a regular-ass Nitro. And that's one of the most epic, most memorable event and matches ever.
But that
and
wasn't
that didn't
rushed.
happen. What?
That wasn't rushed.
That wasn't. It was perfect.
It was
That
real
wasn't
rushed.
rushed?
I could tell
It
you
was
from experience
perfect.
that it was rushed.
No, Venkat. No, be honest. That wasn't rushed. Because you're sitting here talking about Cody, who they had.
Okay,
I can tell you from experience that it was rushed.
That's what I'm saying, man. Just call it out. I'd be okay if you just call it out and say, "Hey, I probably really don't like Cody Rhodes that much. I'd rather Gunther or anybody else."
Since when did I not like Cody Rhodes? I mean, seriously, dude.
Like you legit want to take the man's I can't understand. You legit want to take the man's. This man has the perfect.
Trevor, this is a perfect example of exactly what you do. You are willing to go any way that is making you comfortable in thinking. We just had these shows where I talked about how great Cody Rhodes is, how he's probably has the best, most compelling story. I'm not anti-Cody Rhodes. When I say things, just like in politics, when I say things, I'm a lot of times not anti-something. I'm just explaining what's the greater, more important thing. Get Gunther as your champion because he not only deserves it, but these other guys that have been around, there's like too many guys on WWE's roster that's multi-time champions. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't even understand why is John Cena a 16-time world champion? Because they weren't giving other guys opportunity. Break that cycle and open things up. He's already legitimized
Cody Rhodes is
Oh.
0 times WWE champion.
Cody Rhodes is a multi-world champion. Being WWE champion is just another word.
Is he the WWF champion?
Nobody thinks that way.
And he never won and he never even won the AEW title. So the only world championship he had
ROH and Impact. That's it.
What's ROH?
Okay, first of all,
they don't even have a TV home. They don't even have a home. They don't even have a home.
Lord.
I mean, don't keep your ROH. What's ROH?
But here's the bigger dynamic, though. Here's the bigger, and we're not talking about this. Bigger dynamic is, okay, yeah, Cody, he won the Royal Rumble. He's going to WrestleMania face Roman. That's cool. They got basically 3.5 months to formulate an angle with him and Roman. How is that going to impact the storyline with the bloodline? Because we know what the biggest storyline is. You know what I mean? What's going to dictate the payoff with Cody? That's why I believe you got to split. You ain't gonna have no choice but to split them. Because if you don't, you'll be going into a main event match with Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania with a heel champion that's involved in a bigger angle than the actual main event.
So
and that's going to downplay Cody even winning.
How do you get the belt off of him?
You're gonna have to split him at some point.
How?
You're either gonna have to split him. I don't know. That's up for creative. You know what I mean?
It's not being defended in the elimination chamber. That's what we thought, that it was going to be defended in the elimination chamber. It's not. They're putting the U.S. title in the elimination chamber.
That don't mean that they can't have a singles match, though.
No, but the singles match is going to be Roman and Sammy.
We don't know that.
Nah, it's going to be MD. If it's not, then I haven't been watching this for over 30 years. That is absolutely going to be the match, and they're going to set it up. If not this, no, they can't set it up this Friday. They'll probably set it up next Friday.
So see, this is the thing. So we haven't heard anything about the women's elimination, right? We haven't heard anything about that.
It's going to be. It's for the. Oh no, they did qualifiers. So you put in the final four that was in the Royal Rumble. You're going to have a final four, and then there's going to be 2 triple threat matches to get the next 2 competitors.
So that's going to be for the Raw Women's title.
Yeah. No, it's going. Yeah. Because Rhea already declared Charlotte as who she wants.
So I don't know. I don't know what the format is going to be because usually they only have 2 Elimination Chamber matches.
Yeah, so one's going to be for the Raw belt, and one's going to be for the US one's going to be for the number 1 contender.
Number 1 contender, right? Yeah. For the US title.
No, the US title is on the line in the Elimination Chamber.
So what's the number 1 contender elimination?
The number 1 contender
That's the women's,
match. Right? The number 1 contender match is for the women's title.
So how are you gonna have 2 Elimination Chamber matches that's both Raw branded?
No, but they're the women's match. They're doing it cross promotion because Raquel Gonzalez is in it, and they're doing it with everybody.
Okay, that make more sense. But even still,
but that's why they should get rid of the brand split. Personally, I think they should get rid of that. They should have got rid of that.
So with that being said, I'm assuming Gunther is going to have a singles match at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And look at this, because Venkat likes to say that. Venkat likes to say, "Oh, you got to put Gunther in the spotlight." Gunther has single-handedly, because I'm a Gunther fan. You can go back and look at any post I ever made about him. And I was a fan before he came to the main roster. Gunther single-handedly has elevated that Intercontinental belt to a belt that you want to see defended. His match against Ricochet, his match against Strowman, the bangers against Sheamus. That's why the story, again, here go the story. Sheamus has never won the Intercontinental title. And Sheamus is about time for him to wrap it up soon with all the injuries and everything like that. What bigger stage than Sheamus to finally be able to beat Gunther than WrestleMania for the IC belt? And then guess what? Gunther's still young. He could be Cody's first opponent for the world title. That's what I'm saying. You act like you got to wedge Gunther in to win the championship right away.
That's if Cody stays on Raw. If he stays on Raw, then that ain't gonna happen.
Well, remember the draft is right after.
Yeah. They did say they were doing.
They got to split. I see. I want one belt. I mean, I'm more concerned because I want the world title back. They can get rid of the big W belts. I want the world title back because I think Cody Rhodes just screams professionalism. So I know he's not going to carry that belt with the W on it. I would not be surprised if after he wins, he comes out with the sack with the belt bag, and it has the winged eagle. Well, if it has the winged eagle in there, their pre-orders for that is going to be ridiculous because I'm joining the line for that.
So will any of the tag team titles be defended at Elimination Chamber then?
We don't know yet because you don't know what the story is with the Usos.
Well, you don't know if Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns going to be at Elimination Chamber.
That I'm solely making that up, but I think that's where they're going because it's going to be in Montreal. Why wouldn't you have it? Why wouldn't that be the point where Sami gets a false finish? That's 2.999. They come to beat him down again, and then Kevin Owens makes a save. Why wouldn't you do that? In their hometown of Montreal, why wouldn't you do that? See, I thought they were going to save the beatdown for that time because I would have beat him down in his hometown. But I get why they did it at the Royal Rumble, but I would have beat him down at home and bloodied him up and then wrote him off of TV for 6 weeks. That's what
the more you say it, the more I don't think they're gonna split them before Mania because if they were gonna split them, they were gonna say something about it by now, and they would have involved the Elimination Chamber. You know what I mean? If they were gonna split the titles, they would have had an Elimination Chamber match where that winner would have went on to either go for the WWE Universal title. It just makes sense.
When I saw, oh no, go ahead, Venkat, go ahead.
No. I didn't say anything. Go ahead.
When I saw qualifiers for the Elimination Chamber Monday and saw Seth Rollins in it, I'm like, oh shit, they are making Roman defend the belt. But then when they were like Dolph Ziggler and something, I'm like, why the hell would Dolph Ziggler be in the world title? And then I saw that it's for the U.S. title. I'm like, why are they doing the U.S. title in the Elimination Chamber? And I said, oh, because they're not taking that damn belt off of Roman. That's why. What better place to beat him than in the Elimination Chamber? Because he could basically lose the belt without losing.
That would be horrible. That would be horrible.
But that happened to, I think that happened to John Cena one year where he lost the belt. Well, he had to get pinned. That's
a cop out, man. They shouldn't be doing those Elimination Chambers. It's a cop out way to get a title off a guy. Just have the guys lose 1, 2, 3 in the ring and keep it moving.
But that was under Vince. Vince, for
I
whatever
understand
reason,
that, and it's very obvious that it's under Vince. I get that.
Vince, for whatever reason, likes to keep these guys protected. I mean, Jim Ross said it best. What the fuck are you protecting them for? We already know the script. Pin them 1, 2, 3, build them back up. Roman Reigns getting pinned the bigger story would be in the comeback, because you know if he loses that belt, he's going to be irate and try to kill whoever took the belt from him. So now you got 6 more months of TV with the Bloodline. It writes itself.
I'm
So
just saying that Goldberg Hogan match wasn't as big as it would have been if he would have had a silly ending where it wasn't a straight up just 1, 2, 3.
You mean like the cattle prod?
Huh?
You mean like shocking them with a cattle prod?
Exactly. Those are stupid angles, stupid things in a story to do. Nobody cares about that. The moments that are biggest, that you remember the most, are the ones that happen with legitimate endings.
My issue with you is and I was guilty of it. I had to realize as early as a month ago when we started doing these shows, I started realizing more and more, you're still living in WCW booking, and I'm still living in Attitude Era booking. And it's fine because you do that. Every time you always compare something to then.
No, I'm not. Because back then they were doing that notoriously. That's why I'm saying this. I've been living through that the whole time, where it's always a false finish. It's always a dusty finish. I'm sick of that crap.
Every wrestling company in the world, you're not going to get over it.
What?
You're never going to get past it. That's every single wrestling company in the world. Didn't I just tell you the other day that I wish they would stop doing?
Ring of Honor don't do that crap.
What?
Ring of Honor don't do that crap. Well, you need to better recognize that. They don't do that crap. They actually shake hands before and after the match. They don't do that nonsense.
Get some TV and maybe I'll be able to watch you.
You better get off of that smug crap, man.
I shouldn't have to search a wrestling company out because I want to watch it.
You talk so much junk, man. I don't even want to hear your mouth.
The heel minister, baby.
So let me give a backstory to the Goldberg Hogan thing. So originally, when I bought tickets, well, I didn't buy them. My damn mom bought them. But when we got tickets for that show, it was originally for the Phillips Arena where the Hawks play. It was like 2 months. The first ever Raw, the box office set for Atlanta in the Phillips Arena, and it was a big thing. Like Rock and Austin, they had like a signing down at the Georgia Dome. It was a big thing. It was the first ever Raw coming to Atlanta.
Yep.
About I want to say 3 months after that, they sent a letter in the mail saying that the venue had been changed for the tickets and it was going to be in the Georgia Dome. So, I used to be like on the forums back then. So a big conspiracy was, okay, they doing this because of Raw. Raw was coming in town. So I guess they wanted to make a statement, like this is Atlanta, this is like WCW town, you know what I mean? So how the story went, they changed the venue. They put tickets because the show was sold out. They put tickets back on sale, like this is gonna be standing room. Like they made emphasis on standing room only. Didn't nobody know what was going on at the time. The tickets that went on sale damn near a year. You know what I mean? Before, just like Raw did. Like Raw tickets went on sale almost a year to when the actual show was.
Damn.
So nobody knew what was going on because it was a big thing. It was the first Raw. So did nobody know what was going on? Unless we knew what was going on Nitro. And when I got there, it was me and my cousin. When I got there, and we saw everybody in the joint, like I ain't never seen nothing like that before in my life. It was like, we knew what it was at the time, but like I said, when Goldberg had them 3 matches, and again, when Goldberg picked up Hogan for that jackhammer, I to this day I've never experienced nothing like that in my life. But that was a logistical decision by WCW on what WWE was doing, because WWE was getting ready for their Raw show, and that was a huge deal. That was another sold out show. But that's just my take.
I would have loved to be in the building that night. Man, when he picked Hogan up and Bobby the Brain Heenan was like, He got him up. He got him up. And I'm like, man, you just watch the crowd just collectively just stand up, and man, that was one of those where were you when that happened type moments. I mean, but they just gave it away on TV, which I never understood that whole they gave it away on TV, because the audience was bigger on Nitro than it would have ever been for pay-per-view, and I bet you they made more ad revenue.
Of course.
Night. So I mean, I didn't see what the big deal was about it. Not my whole issue with that is that they literally gave it away in 3 days, because remember, James J. Dillon made the announcement on Thunder, which was on a Thursday. And then they gave the match away on Monday. So they legit did it in less than a week. No build, nothing.
And it didn't need it. And that's what I'm talking about. You don't need it.
The Georgia Dome sits like 60-something. Well, it's gone now, but the Georgia Dome sat like 60-something thousand people. People were in the aisles of the actual. It wasn't no seats.
Yeah, it looked full.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you don't need, and these stories can sometimes get in the way of something that organically could just happen. Kind of like Daniel Bryan. He has something going, and then they derail it from silly stories perspectives. And sometimes you just got to be able to, balance that a little. And I see that right now with this Gunther thing. I'm not going to get over that, because I don't feel like we need to rush into anything that has to do with Cody Rhodes, especially with that injury. I don't have to see Cody Rhodes in the main event right now at this moment. Cody Rhodes thing could be a SummerSlam. That could have been a SummerSlam match, or next year's WrestleMania.
You go sit in the corner. You don't watch WrestleMania. I'll be watching. And when Cody wins that belt, I'll be the first one to say is a fantastic moment. You ain't got to watch it. Let us and all us Cody Rhodes fans revel.
Yeah, but you see, that's the thing with you. It's like it's all or nothing, and it's like there's no nuance to it. And what I'm doing is I'm objectively criticizing or highlighting what could make things possibly better, whereas you're just let's just go along with what's being said, boss. I'm not like that. I'm not built like that, dude. I'm just saying. That's exactly. You literally said at the beginning how I made fun of Gunther, and then knowing the couple shows ago when I was talking about how great Cody Rhodes is, and you twist both of them less than 30 minutes ago saying how I am dogging out Cody Rhodes and how I am a super fanboy of Gunther. Literally the opposite of what was going on before, just to feed your narrative. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's an all or nothing kind of thing, and there's no room for nuance. All right, there you go. He's laughing it off. Like, what did I say that was not real right now?
You crazy,
what did I
man.
say?
I mean, you know what? That fan is being short for fanatic, so whatever. But you're talking about, you just want to go with whatever they feed you. If they feed me something good, then I'm gonna take it until it's not good anymore. Then I'll complain about it. Why you gotta complain about it? Just if it's
because when I was watching the Royal Rumble, it was fun. That match is good. It's good, but I just felt a little. That's why I told you I like the women's Rumble better, because that ending with Cody, it just felt force-fed. It felt heavy-handed, and it was like, okay, we're doing what we all was thinking was going to happen. It just didn't feel earned, and it didn't feel genuine. It felt like, this is what they wrote down on the paper for us to do, rather than watching something live and not knowing what the hell's happening. And that was my problem. Whereas with the woman, when that girl slipped and caught herself, you can't fake that. I was so happy that happened. Whether it was supposed to or not, it looked believable, and I loved it. When Cody Rhodes in the end with Luther, he literally, and I even texted you, I said, looked like Luther just jumped out the ring. Because he did. And that kind of bothered me, because that took away from it. So the Royal Rumble win for Cody does not feel earned to me. It feels disingenuous. So let's push him back a little. Let him get his bearings back. And while we wait, let's deal with this other glaring issues that we have, which are Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, Kevin Owens. I mean, we have a lot going on here.
Why
There's
do you
no
think that's
need
not
to.
going to happen? They got 3 months until Mania.
I'm just saying. I think. Yes. Yeah. Whatever. I think that something. I just think something is going to mess up here. I don't think they're going to be able to handle this well. I hope I'm wrong. Every time I say something like this, I hope I'm wrong.
You'll be wrong.
I hope so. I hope to be wrong.
Because the guy is in control. Whenever we hear the old man is back, then I'll be like, you know what?
No, don't be copping up with the Vince McMahon. This goes way deeper than Vince McMahon, because a lot of these dumbasses are the same kind of mentality that's behind that curtain. It's not just Triple H. Triple H is yeah, he's the face, the guy we look at. But Triple H isn't the be all end all. There's other parts and things that are moving around that's not Triple H. Collectively, it's a group thing. And you have that like-minded mentality that's still in there. And I'm just saying, for them to not recognize that, like, that's what made Nitro what Nitro was. Groundbreaking and cutting edge, because there was that unpredictability factor to it, and anything could happen. I don't feel like anything can happen right now. I feel like we're just playing out. It's like making a movie to a comic book. Like, it's already been written down, and we just want to see how it plays off in real life. And like, I don't want that. I want to actually be enticed. And I don't feel like the way the Rumble ended on the men's side, the way Gunther just looked back and jumped out the ring. Watch it again. You'll see what I'm saying if you didn't see it. You literally see this guy looking back.
I didn't like the way he turned on the clothesline. I didn't like that. I was like, why?
Right. It looked suspect. And nobody's calling it out, because we're just drinking Kool-Aid and smiling and we feel really good and blah, 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 blah. I'm not like that. I like to deal with the reality of the situation and what's really going on. So I'm willing to have an uncomfortable discussion about what it really is, but I'm not going to be putting my nose up there.
I'm assuming that Gunther doesn't know how to, go back over rope out the ring. I'm assuming that he just doesn't know how to do that.
So he is capable of doing all these awesome, great moves and technician.
Well, I mean, he is a big dude. You know what I mean? I ain't expecting him to do no black flip over the damn ring. You know what I mean?
Some guys can't take that bump. They can't.
It just looked weird to me. I preferred the women the way it ended. I thought that was.
But yeah, he blatantly turned like he turned like he turned like 5 seconds before the clothesline, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that rubbed me the wrong friggin' way. I'm like, but
that's nitpicking though, Van Cat. That's
I noticed
not
for me.
That's all he does, though.
Here we go.
That's
here
all
we go.
He does.
Oh Lord.
We on what, show number 8?
Okay, so
listen to his whole shtick. He'll listen to me build up an argument, and then he's like, all right, now I'm gonna come in and try to destroy everything.
No, it's not. Where you getting this from? Okay, so I'm nitpicking, right? When we did the War Games show on your podcast, Straight Talk with Trevor, check it out right now on all streaming platforms. When we were on your platform talking about the War Games, we broke down the War Games. You said you loved the match, except for the way the match ended, because a guy got hit by a metal steel post on his arm, and then a submission hold was applied to that same arm, and you didn't like the fact that he gave up.
No, I didn't say that.
That's what you said.
No,
that's what you said.
That was
no. I'm nitpicking.
No, that's not what I said.
That is exactly what you said.
No, I said he got hit on the bicep, and then he submitted him with an arm bar that affected the shoulder. That's exactly what I said.
It's not nitpicking, Trevor.
Yeah, come on, man. I mean, you talk. Come on, man. Okay, so
we're coming on.
Let me paint this scenario for you. So,
let's go ahead and paint.
So I get, and I'll use me as an example. So I get paid every week. I work every week because I expect to get paid on my payday. By your logic, I should be okay with just like, yeah, let me work this week, and they could defer it to the next week because another guy wants to get paid. Like that's how you sound to me right now.
I don't know how, because I don't see how you can correlate any of those.
It's
what
like
you just said.
You're basically saying this man worked for this, which is probably in his contract too. You don't know what the particulars of the contract is, because I'm pretty sure when he came back with certain, protector clauses in his contract, and a minor setback of him getting injured says every wrestler in the world that got injured. And I even brought up Sting just to point out to you how disingenuous you were, and then you were like, Sting and Luger. Oh, Luger had too many chances. I'm like, come on, man. You literally looking at the exact same. Yeah, I see the crying face. You literally, boy, you quick on this. You awesome on me. I can't even hate on it, boy. You awesome as hell on these these graphics. But you know what you're doing, because I brought up the perfect scenario, the Sting injury. Same thing. And then with the Sting injury, you had the champion even say, frig what the bookers say, I'm not dropping the belt to the other guy. I want to drop it to Sting. Who didn't see it? Who didn't see that a mile away that Sting was going to win the title? But did it make his title win less important? No, it didn't.
Well, it was not a foregone conclusion that Sting was going to win.
Get out of here, Ric Flair.
It was not. I lived through that time.
That's exactly where it was going.
It was not a foregone conclusion.
Nobody in the world. So having the dudes with attitude out there and having Ole Anderson handcuffed to Junkyard Dog to keep the outside interference, having Elegante out there to stop the rest of the Horsemen, that wasn't a foregone conclusion. Come on, man, get out of here with that, man.
Sting coming off that injury, please. Please.
Hey, Venkat,
it was not a foregone conclusion.
Whoever thought that?
I hoped it. I remember that. I did not order that pay-per-view because I didn't have money for it. So I would just the TV would scramble a little.
I was 10.
So sometimes it'll jitter, and for like 3 seconds you can hear what Jim Ross is saying, and that's how I was listening to every second, and I'm like, I hope Sting wins this, but I don't know. Because Flair is known to pull some stuff. We already literally saw Lex Luger lose 3 matches in a row on a main event pay-per-view. And they always found a way. They got a cage, a regular cage. Then they got a big-ass Thunderdome cage. It didn't matter. They could have put Fort Knox on it. They always find a way to win. And Sting coming off an injury, you just figured, well, maybe Flair's going to win again. And to be fair, Flair did win again, because in less than 6 months, Ric Flair beat Sting in the Meadowlands in New Jersey, Meadowlands Arena,
but
to win back that
title win. Did it take away from Sting's title win?
No. I mean that was fine. That was fine. But this is different, right? Because Sting was in the organization. Sting was we already seen him go up the ranks, paid his dues, and then he got a bad break. This is different. Cody Rhodes had literally just wrestled like less than 5 matches, just got in the organization, and then he's out. And he's out for several months. Then he pops back up at the Royal Rumble at number 30, which doesn't feel genuine. And then the whole way that ended is just, oh Lord. So I mean, it took away something from me. Am I anti-Cody for saying this? No, because it's not that extreme. What it is critical thinking, analyzing it critically and just saying, could we have done that a little bit better? Would it have made sense maybe instead of moving this way, the ultra obvious way? Because Roman Reigns against Cody Rhodes is not like Hulk Hogan against The Rock or Brock Lesnar against Goldberg. It's not a match that you're like, oh my God, I got to see that. Nobody has ever said that. So the scenario of Cody winning and that we have that really built up. We just came off of the Bloodline storyline, which has been 9 months, but you can take it back as, like you said, back to 3 years. And that's a hell of a long, slow burn, right? So why can't we just have, I'm just saying, a little mini burn for Cody Rhodes and just push it off a little bit differently in a different area. It doesn't have to be right at this moment at this particular WrestleMania. It could be SummerSlam. It could be next year's WrestleMania.
The guy to do it, huh?
I'm just saying, even if it's not Gunther, but
The
Gunther
IC
would
and not for nothing, he's already a champion too. So
okay. So when Ultimate Warrior was staring down Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 6, there was no issue there. When Ravishing Rick Rude was the Intercontinental Champion, challenging for WWF title, there was not an issue. All of a sudden, an Intercontinental Champion
when we weren't even teenagers. Like, come
What?
on, man! I was 10 when all this stuff was happening.
It doesn't matter.
I
It doesn't matter if
I wasn't looking at that stuff with a objective eye then.
I'm just saying, even in boxing, there could be a guy with a title on one end and a guy on the title with another. What does that matter? We've seen a title for title happen many a times before. And this is not even title for title. He just happens to be the Intercontinental Champion, which, newsflash, as Intercontinental Champion, you are supposed to be upper echelon challenger. The Intercontinental title is a kinship to the TV title, which is the third highest ranked title. And that title should automatically put you in the top 5 for contention. And that's supposed to be
you compare the IC title to the TV title?
Yeah,
and not
they're the same title.
Come on, man.
What? I'm sorry. Okay, you're right.
Okay, push back on that, Trevor. Traditionally, the TV title was held to a higher standard than the U.S. title because the TV title, that guy was on. He was front and center every week.
But your U.S. champion was your second to Flair.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
but the problem
it was lower main event.
Yeah.
Type title.
Yeah, the problem with the comparison is that WWF only at the time they only had 2 singles titles.
And the TV title is one of the dopest belts ever made. So that silver and red was buzzing.
I was just a quick thing. I was just thinking like the world title should be gold, the US title should be silver, and the TV title should be bronze. They should rebrand them like that. You know,
that's why I say the AEW belt is the best belt in wrestling. Well, besides the NW, I still love the 10-pound gold belt, but I mean, who the hell is the NWA champion? Who knows?
Why you always attack?
It was Matt Cardona for a minute. I don't know who it is now.
Who's Zack Ryder, the woo guy?
Hey, why you keep hating on Zack Ryder?
That's their champion.
I don't know if I don't know if he is now, but he was at a time.
What did Tony Schiavone say? I heard that such and such is going to win their world title tonight. That'll put a lot of butts in their seats.
Yeah, but you always dissing these guys, and then years later they're in the WWF, and now they matter. Like that doesn't make sense.
I never dissed Cody though. I was pissed when they let Cody go. I was pissed when they let Cody get the Stardust gimmick. I was pissed when they took the Money in the Bank from him and let Damian Sandow get it. You go back to when AEW was started. I tweeted Cody Rhodes and said that your dad is so proud of you right now. I've always been a Cody Rhodes fan. That's what I'm saying. I'm not changing in my stance. All my tweets are up. You can go see them all. I've never dissed Cody Rhodes. Even when he broke the throne, I was laughing because I'm like, he's just taking shots. I mean, that's what you do. The way you hear me diss the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, I would never do that to Cody, because those guys are play wrestlers. To me, Cody Rhodes is like a champion, like the former NWA champion. What's his name? The British guy, Nick Aldis. Like those guys are in the vein of a Nick Bockwinkel to me. I love them type of champions. You know that. I love Ric Flair. Ric Flair is my favorite wrestler. Like, I love the champion that's going to carry the belt, wear a suit, and do some prestige to it. Like, I love that. So I'm not saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing out of the way. I mean, the fact that you're trying to wedge Gunther in this is laughable. I mean,
why is it laughable? Is he not legitimate? And that's why he should be, because we've seen this before. Del Rio. And even Sheamus
was
like
a bum. Del Rio was a bum.
But at the time, did they not throw him as in the Royal Rumble, become the champion, win championships and stuff like that? Did he not? Oh, no, I'm saying no. It doesn't matter that he did flop or didn't flop. It mattered that they put him in that position, and that's what I'm talking about. That they did.
I never saw the appeal of him. I still don't understand to this day.
Just because he was they were trying to cross over to that Mexican audience. That's it.
But that's not the traditional Well, I guess to a certain extent, yeah. But bro, like, yeah, then nah, I can't go for it.
Man,
But
hey, listen, because I'm past my time, but who would have ever thought? I'm gonna have to catch the AEW show tomorrow. I can spend some time with the little one, but who would have ever thought that a wrestling show would drum up this type of argument? I know it's not the arguments that we've been having for the past couple of streams on the arena, but this is like my type of argument. But you know, it's wrestling, baby. It drums up all type of emotions. I feel this way when I'm talking about the Dolphins. You know, it pulls emotion out of me that I probably shouldn't be displaying, but hey, it's what I love. So, I mean, I think I've said everything I can say about the Royal Rumble. I thought it was great. I thought the final scene was tremendous. And now I see you got on the screen Roman pie face and Sammy, which that was a fantastic touch that Sammy would get in his face and then pull back like he still reverenced him. That it's like it was a little nuances to everything that they did. It was perfect, man. I thought it was perfect. I just bank that shit on it because he doesn't like it, but you know, whatever. He thinks a heel should go wrestle a heel for a title. We see how that
why
happens
not?
with Brock Lesnar. It just doesn't work. And if WrestleMania, okay, let's put it this way: if the tickets weren't already sold out and you had to sell it on that main event, those tickets would move real slow. Versus
All I know is
selling it on Cody.
The Miz wrestled Cena.
That was terrible. MD was there, right? You were at that one, right, MD?
Yeah, I was there.
That was
if we could have that, I don't think Gunther being in the main event would be that much of a bad draw. And he earned it. He earned it, man. I'm telling you, it would be different.
I mean, I'm still convinced that for whatever reason, and I'm not saying it just because it was loud. For whatever reason, they weren't serious about. Well, not necessarily say they weren't serious. They used that WrestleMania to set up
the next year
a more convincing WrestleMania for that next year for whatever reason.
Yep,
and it wasn't that great either.
No, WrestleMania 28 was great. That was the one that was here. Come on, man. That was the end of the
era. It was not that great.
All right.
It was not that great. The Rock against Cena is not that great. It was not that great.
That's why it's subjective, folks. MD, you say you firing up a stream later tonight? I'm at it, man. Y'all.
Well, yeah. I'm about to get off here in a second. Go take me a shower. I'm about to hit up Blackson, and if he say pull the trigger, we're gonna pull the trigger right after this.
Oh shit! All right, I probably can't catch it till in the morning, man. But y'all killing me with all these streams, man. I got so much stuff. I got a playlist of stuff that I gotta watch, but you know the arena stuff come first. So
hold on. Let me just say a shout out to Gynocracy Takeover. She had her stream earlier this morning, I should say.
This morning, 4 o'clock.
Yeah, this morning. Yeah, and then MD. My God, we have to call that. That's like explosive. A test bomb that blew up the whole universe.
Yeah, again, I wasn't going for that, but I'll take it, man. Like, and you know, I'm really, I ain't gonna say upset, but I'm fired up especially about that blue stream earlier. Like,
I gotta finish listening to it because
they got me feeling some type of way.
I was halfway through, and then we had to start this show, so I got to go finish listening to that so I can see what's going on. Damn, I'm so far behind. Yeah, hey, y'all, Straight Talk with Trevor. I don't do the seasons anymore, so I'm just saying I came back after a 3-month hiatus. I haven't had a show since November, but my show is recorded, and I'm going to drop it hopefully in the morning. I just got to re-record a new intro. So
why don't you premiere it on YouTube?
Nah, I tell you, I don't care about YouTube. That'll come this weekend. My podcast streams are in the thousands. I don't care about YouTube. I got actual sponsorship on the podcast streaming platform, but I do have a stream set up to premiere it this weekend once ever I upload the video. But that's if I do it.
You got admin, man. You ought to drop a link for it.
No, I did. Well, no, I premiered it on my channel. Oh, you mean?
I mean, drop a link. To the podcast platform.
Oh,
yeah.
I haven't published a show yet, so the link isn't live yet. Because there's still a part of it that I want to add to it, so I'll drop it in the next stream though. But it's going to drop tonight, and it's called "The Importance of the Black Father."
Yep.
And let's just say that this show was the return of Straight Talk. The cape came off. I'm no longer caping, and if you ever listen to any of my shows, you know what I mean. I have a thing where I cape and take the side of a particular set of people, but that glove has completely come off, and me and Zay just had a good old time last night. Let's just put it that way. So that show will be out in the morning on every single major podcast platform available. I have a stream set up to debut Sunday where I'm going to upload that show, but it's on my channel. I'm going to do a stream on the Arena. I got to find some time. I got to see, because everybody's doing streams now, entitled The Caveman. I'm going to go back into my Bible bag. So I know Blackson probably going to be like, oh, God, but I'm going to do a stream on the Arena called The Caveman. So y'all look forward to that. That's coming out sometime this week. But, man, great show again. Venkat, you know, it's always love, man, even though you got terrible takes.
Oh, Lord.
All right, so next week is the top 10 WCW matches, right?
Yeah.
No, because Trevor uprooted the whole operation. so
we're doing a Black History one first?
Yeah, we're going to do black wrestlers next week.
Black wrestlers or the racism in wrestling?
It's the same thing. That's all in the same. Black wrestlers, the racism, all that in that show.
All right, that's fine. But
and then after that, then it's the women wrestlers. The day after Valentine's, female wrestler.
This guy. We need a schedule for streams on the Arena, man, because I'm gonna have to just get in where I fit in, because y'all be doing these fire ass arguing streams. I just do my low key stuff, you know. But I'm gonna get my shit in either way though. But yeah, MD, good as always, man. I got some smoke I got for you though off of your test stream though, because you you know you and Angel Snupnut, man, y'all. It's like I feel like sometimes we be saying the same thing, but y'all say it in a different way, and then don't want to realize that you're agreeing with the person you're arguing with, and it's like, so you know, I'll write it down.
My plan is to this weekend. I'm inviting Angel Stumpner back on hopefully this weekend, and we gonna talk about it. Like, if you ain't busy, man, you know. Oh, I'll definitely feel free to jump on. You gotta tell Angel though. Angel gotta get some tougher skin, man. He can't keep jumping at people. If people don't agree with him, he just like to just jump off. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't get in any. It can't be like Lex now, because I listened to Lex and Gynocracy today, and Lex literally talked for 2 hours straight. And I'm like, well, what the hell going on here? So I told Lex, everybody knows Lex can be long-winded. He'll try to take over the discussion. Everybody already knows that. But for the sake of the argument, I told Angel, I was like, hey, look, I'm gonna mute you out, let him get his spiel. And if you want to destroy his argument, I'm gonna give you the opportunity to destroy. But he left. Blackson needs to bring the timer back. I mean, I think that at some point when we had these streams that have all these people on them, everybody should be muted, and you get like a minute, you get your shit off, and then whoever want to rebut it, they get another minute, because that's the only way. Because a lot of these streams now are sounding like it's just a bunch of arguing. Like the first hour that I heard on Blue, it's like all they were doing was arguing over each other. I'm like, I can't hear nothing. You said you didn't watch the whole thing, right? No, I only got to where. Did you saw when Domo came on? No. Yeah, Domo was on there, man. It was. They got into some political shit. But that's really what I want to talk about. You know what I mean? Lord, so okay, I gotta go finish listening to that then. But I'm about to hit Blackson here in a minute. Damn. All right. Well, shit. The Arena becoming the place to be then, man.
All right, fellas, y'all take it easy.
All right.
Yeah, I'm about to get off too, man.
Right,
Shouts
peace.
out to everybody in the chat. Shouts out to you, Van Cat.
All
Great
right,
show
thank
as
you,
always,
MD.
and we'll get it in next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
All right, folks. That's another episode of Wrestling Wednesdays. Be with us next week. We're gonna be doing black wrestlers for next week. We'll go through different wrestlers of African American descent, talk about the ups and downs, the struggles, the politics, the racism, and the different stories, the wins, the losses of different wrestlers throughout the years and decades. So we'll be doing that show next week, Black Wrestlers. I would like to give a shout out, of course, to Blackson. Blackson's the man. Don't know where you're at, but if you're hearing us, we appreciate you. And we thank you for this awesome platform where, it's uncensored. Everyone gets their opportunity to say what their piece. And it's just a beautiful thing when you get minds thinking and hashing out different arguments. It's always a good thing. Would like to give a shout out to Yanga. Yanga, he has his show. He does a show usually in the mornings. Check him out. Hanging out with your boy Yanga. Yanga, again, another thought-provoking, highly intellectual individual. He has a lot to offer, and check out anytime you can check out Yanga's show. It's always a good thing. You may walk away with something learned too. So check out Yanga. Once again, Gynocracy Takeover. She's has her shows usually late early mornings, and she goes through different controversies and different politics and sides of beefs, I will say. But her show is very informative and entertaining as well too. And we got to thank her for bringing in certain clips and gifts and background images for the arena. So we appreciate Gynocracy Takeover. I'd like to thank Zanzi. He comes on every now and then on different shows, different streams. Like to thank everyone in the chat. Deacon of Reality, Twin Pyramid, they're usually almost always in the chat supporting, and we appreciate you. Appreciate that. Like to give a shout out to Richard, because if it wasn't for haters like you, there wouldn't be real niggas. Everyone have a great night, and we will see you on the next one. Remember, the next show next week, Black Wrestlers. And for all the arena team, I'm Van Cat, and we will see you next week. Peace.
The Arena Uncensored.
Oh yeah, Black Sun in the hizzle, all for shizzle dizzle.